World champions. Say it again. The New York Knicks are world champions. Let's go. The comeback Knicks have done it. They are now the champion New York Knicks. This is a championship that will last a lifetime. I can't believe it. I'm euphoric. The entire city is euphoric, and we're going all night, baby. We're taking you till 6 in the morning, 800-919. ESPN is the number. For the first time in 53 years, the Knicks are world champions. The New York Knicks started the playoffs 1-2. They lost one game the rest of the way, 15-1, winning 15 of their final 16 games. A run that will last and will be remembered for a lifetime. We may never, ever see something like what we saw from these New York Knicks. And if you are a long-suffering, diehard Knicks fan, this night and this run is for you. Because there's many out there who said it couldn't happen. It would never happen. The Knicks would never get it right. They were doubted every step of the way. Last couple years, they were building something. Oh, nice team. Nice players here. But, they're never going to get over the top. You can't win with Jalen Brunson as your best player. You can't win with Karl Anthony Towns. He's soft. They gave up too many picks for Mikal Bridges. You can't win with that. You go down the line. We know the story. Tonight's about celebrating this team and the Knicks fan. The Knicks fan that was there when Alexei Shved was starting games for them, when Kevin Knox was supposed to be the savior, or Frank Ntilikina was going to get us out of this drought. The Knicks fan that was there for Eddie Curry and Jerome James. The Knicks fan that was there through all the pain and all the misery, that stayed loyal. That is what this run is all about. This team is all about. And what tonight and this celebration that's going to be last a long time. That's what it's all about. And tonight, what else is new? Down double digits after the first quarter? What else is new? Only the fifth straight finals game that happened. The good news for the Knicks was that they were down by double digits after the first quarter. Think about that. That's what this team has done to its fans. Even the most negative of fans see them down, and they believe we got them right where we want them. What a win tonight. And we need to mention this right at the top. None of this happens without what Jalen Brunson has done since the second he signed his contract and became, we didn't know it at the time, no one did, the greatest free agent signing in NBA history. No player has resurrected a franchise the way Jalen Brunson had. Start building the statue. This is a guy who took $100 million less to help put this team together. And tonight, with Karl Anthony Towns in foul trouble, OG Anunoby in foul trouble, and an off-shooting night from him, Jalen Brunson did something that only Michael Jordan has done. Score 45-plus points on the road in a title-clinching victory. Michael Jordan, Jalen Brunson, that's it. That's the list. Everyone's better than Jalen Brunson until it's time to be better than Jalen Brunson. Here's the thing. Jalen Brunson's just better. Everyone's better than the Knicks until you got to play the Knicks. Philly was going to beat them. Cleveland was going to beat them. Oh, the Western Conference Finals is really the NBA Finals. The Knicks don't have a chance. Knicks in 5. World champions for the first time in 53 years. We are going to celebrate hard tonight, man. I have dreamed about getting the opportunity to be on this radio station after one of our teams in this city wins a title. And it's the Knicks, and we are the radio home of the Knicks, and it's the one team in town that basically unites everybody. This is as good as it will get, Knicks fans. Soak it all in. Soak the champagne in. This is a night that we will all never forget collectively. Where were you when the Knicks ended 53 years of heartbreak and frustration? Where were you when the New York Knicks became world champions? This is a night we will never forget. Thank you to Leon Rose. Thank you to Mike Brown. Here we are. The New York Knicks, world champions. You're watching on YouTube. We're streaming all throughout the morning. Dave and Rick are coming your way at 6 a.m. I'm grinning. I can't believe it. A 16-3 playoff record. They started 1-2. The mentality of these players collectively, different game. It was a different player stepping up and helping this team win. You go down the line. All the key reserves had moments in these playoffs that helped lead to a championship, whether it be Deuce McBride, Landry Shamet, Jose Alvarado, Mitchell Robinson. Go down the line. They all played a role. Brunson, Cat, McHale, OG, obviously, Hart. These guys are world champions, man, and they all had moments helping deliver this title to this city. A championship that will last a lifetime, a run that we may never see again. They won 15 of their final 16 games in the playoffs, and a lot of those wins were by double digits. It's my job to talk. It's my job to speak. It's hard to come up with words to describe this run. And again, just a phenomenal job by Mike Brown coaching this team. He rightfully stepped into an environment where you couldn't have higher expectations for any first-year coach. And look what he did. He won a championship in his first year. Unbelievable performance. Unbelievable team building by the general manager, the basketball president, Leon Rose. And I'm just so happy for the long-suffering Knicks fans out there, because there are so many people who said it will never happen. You can't win with this owner. You can't win with these players. The Knicks will never get it right. And you know what? They did. And what makes this run so special is how long it took, of course, to get here. And you were just hoping, if you're a fan of these teams in this town that have not won, whether it be the Knicks or the Mets or the Jets, of course, you're just hoping that one of these teams could break through and you could experience what winning is like. There's so many people. If you're a Knick, if you are a Jet, if you are a Met fan and you are under the age of 40, you've been a career loser your whole life. You've never experienced winning. You've never experienced this. And now you have a title. You have a championship that will last again for a lifetime. Think about that. This team has done more for its fans than any Knicks team in my lifetime and in many people out there who are listening their lifetime. They will never be forgotten. When we discuss the 2026 New York Knicks and we talk about the great champion teams in New York sports history, and we reference the 98 Yankees, we reference the special championships like the 07 Giants or what the 96 Yankees did when they came out of nowhere. They're down 2-0 to Atlanta. You go down the line and go through some of the great championship teams that get remembered. The 94 Rangers, of course, who needed a number 11 to help resurrect their franchise, and here are the Knicks with their number 11, who should have a statue that immediately gets started on some construction right away. My God. I can't believe it's 2 in the morning. We're going live for 4 hours. We get to talk about the Knicks winning an NBA title. It is surreal, and the Knicks fan, you deserve all of it. All of it. And we're going to hear from the Knicks fan for the next 4 hours. Ray Santiago's along for the ride. I caught Ray on with Dan Grosso, who did a great job immediately after the Knicks postgame. It is a surreal feeling. One that many probably thought you'd never get to see if you're a real fan of this team. And I think part of what makes this team so special is how likable they are. Starts with their superstar, who is every bit a superstar in every sense of the word. Again, tonight, Karl Anthony Towns had 2 points. OG Anunoby, who put himself in the history of New York sports with a moment that none of us, especially those lucky enough to have been in the building the other night, will ever forget. He's in foul trouble. He's not able to really get his shot flowing in this game, right? OG, 3 of 11. And it's the captain, Jalen Brunson, who goes out there and gives you 45. 45 on the road in a hostile environment, and here are the New York Knicks, led by their captain, world champions. Soak it in, Knicks fans. You waited a long time to hear it. The New York Knicks are NBA champions. 800-919-3776. 800-919. ESPN is the number. My name is Jake Asman. We are rocking with you for the next 4 hours, taking you till DiPietro and Rothenberg at 6 a.m., a special Sunday show for Dave and Rick, as we are live on the station all throughout the day celebrating a Knicks title. Get ready, Knicks fans. Parade on Thursday. The streets of New York City are alive, and the New York Knicks are NBA champs. Your call's coming up. Say it, Knicks fans. World champions. Jake Asman with you. After the Knicks went into San Antonio for the third time in this series and snatched the soul from the San Antonio Spurs. Revenge for 99. Victor Wembanyama, you might win championships or a championship in your career, but not this one, baby. The New York Knicks are world champions. And God, does this fan base deserve it. 800-919-3776. On Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, at Jake Asman. ESPN New York is streaming the show live on the YouTube channel. We are live all night, all morning. The city is alive right now. People are sending me texts and videos of them celebrating at all the different bars on all the streets. The parade is Thursday down the Canyon of Heroes. Oh, man. And my reaction watching this, very unique circumstance if you're watching on YouTube. Of all the places to be to celebrate a Knick title, I am a groomsman in a wedding tomorrow for one of my really, really close friends from college. The problem is, he's a Boston sports fan. So I'm in Boston, of all places right now, doing the show from a hotel conference room where I watched this game tonight, surrounded with several Celtics fans, but mostly Knicks fans, who happened to all be at this hotel. And I won't lie, when the Knicks officially won, I started crying. Wearing my Knicks shorts, my Knicks shirt, I changed into it after the rehearsal dinner. It got done at 8:15. Game started at 8:30, locked in. My voice is shot. We're going to rely on you, the callers, tonight, as we bask in the glory. But I cried. I didn't know how I'd react. It was screaming, yelling, tears of joy, all of it at once. Surreal. We got 4 hours to talk about it and the rest of our lives to remember a championship here that is going to last a lifetime. 800-919-ESPN is the number. Let's start it off with Kenny and Suffering. Kenny, you're first up here on our show. What's going on?
Yeah, Jake. I'm 68 years old. I remember 70 Knicks, and they won in 7 when Willis was hurt, and 73 when they acquired Earl Monroe, and that was an automatic, championship. And I think the Lakers won 1 or 2 times between those 2 4 years. But this Knicks team is just I'm beyond euphoria, beyond ecstatic with this team. I mean, Jalen Brunson, he's ungodly. Do you agree?
He's an immortal. I mean, do I agree? Absolutely. I mean, think about what Jalen Brunson has done. He has been the guy to lead the New York Knicks to a championship. The 1A, Becky Hammond. The Knicks, the team in New York that unites 90 to 90% of the sports fan. For every Yankee fan, there's Met fans. For every Jet fan, there's Giant fans. We got 3 hockey teams in the tri-state. They all have their fans. Brunson just led the Knicks to basketball immortality. He's a god in this town. There's going to be people making the argument he's the greatest Knick ever. And you know what? When you watch what he did tonight, and I don't care if it's prisoner of the moment, he put up 45 points in a closeout game where the Knicks' second-best player got in foul trouble, had 2 points. Cat had 2 points tonight. OG, who had been playing out of his mind, and many thought you could make a case he was the finals MVP going into the game tonight. OG Anunoby, foul trouble, 3 of 11, only 11 points. This was the Brunson show. Bridges gave you a nice spurt in the second quarter. Hart gave you some life at times tonight with 13, but they got very little from their bench. Right? You got 5 from Shamet. You got 2 from Mitch. You got 2 from Clarkson. I mean, that's it. Jalen Brunson scored 45 of the Knicks' 94 points tonight. He is a immortal. This will go down as one of the great performances in finals history. It's him and Jordan that have ever scored 45 or more in a closeout game. Amazing. More of your calls. Gregory in South Florida. Gregory, let it rip, baby. The Knicks are champions.
We are New York. We're playing basketball. We're
Let's go, Gregory. Love it, man. Yeah.
All right, so first of all, I'm a big Jets fan, and I know you from the New York Jets, but, man, getting to celebrate the Knicks with my dad, who is 76 years old, is a very special thing. Hopefully one day the Knicks and the Jets will have a championship together. But I just want to share, my friends and I have been doing a Telemordu shot, and we do like a Telemordu chant, and we are 13-1 with the Telemordu, and we did it tonight, and we won!
Yeah, Gregory. Love it.
Oh!
Love it. Congratulations. I'm happy that you got to share that moment with your dad. That's what sports is all about. And again, the same things that are said about the Jets now were said about the Knicks. The Knicks have provided hope for every team in this city that you can eventually figure it out. It's not going to be easy. The Knicks run certainly was not easy. It wasn't just this year. This was a build by the Knicks. This didn't happen overnight. You know, the Knicks aren't here without the contributions of Tom Thibodeau. Don't forget about him as you celebrate. They're not here without him helping bring this franchise back to respectability. They're not here without Julius Randle and his contributions and Dante DiVincenzo. Go down the line. Those street parties after every game, they started after Derrick Rose helped lead the Knicks to a Game 2 win against the Hawks in the 2021 playoffs. This didn't just happen. But the Knicks finally got it right. It is surreal to be on with you right now. Jake Asman with you. More of your calls. Let's keep it rolling here as we celebrate a Knicks title all together. Merv in Queens. Merv, you're up next here with Jake Asman on ESPN New York.
Congratulations, Jake, man. I'm not so familiar with you. I've listened to you a few times. But all you guys from ESPN, top to bottom, work your asses off this season. And since you're on for 4 hours, man, just give me a minute. I'm 46 years old. Next week's my birthday. And this Knicks run, man, from the moment it started, what you're saying, the couple of years of build-up, this team is a likable team. This team has all great guys. There's not one bad person signing, nothing from top to bottom. You said it all, but you left out one thing. There's going to be a baby boom next March. That's for one. And talk about the face of the league. Wemby? Not yet, buddy. I told Alan 2 weeks ago, I said, Alan, Brunson will leave his brains on that court before he lets a championship slip away. The whole crew from top to bottom understood what's at stake. And I'm telling you, what you're saying, as Knicks fan, how desperate we were to get a championship. I kind of pictured, how insane I would be, but in the fashion, I think it's going to add another 10 years to our memory in the fashion that they won and whooped everybody, and the collectiveness and OG shot and tonight's performance by Brunson. This is once in a lifetime, and I feel bad that there's Knicks fans that died that didn't get to see this, man. And I think tonight, God is a Knicks fan. I'm thankful for all of you guys and all memories, and this is more than just for a regular fan. This team was truly special, built by Leon Rosasnet, and no more comments, no more BS, no more 5 first-round picks. Everybody on that team from 1 through 15 is in their own way, shape, or form part of New York history, Mount Rushmore. Thank you. I'll listen to you and enjoy. Congrats. I appreciate you guys.
Merv, great call. And I think you nailed it, right? This team is so likable, and the contributions came from everyone on the roster. It's a championship again. I keep saying it, but that's just how I feel. It will last a lifetime. I've grown up, and I heard about the 73 Knicks and the 70 Knicks. I heard about Bernard King in the 80s. My earliest Knick memories are Steve Francis and Stephon Marbury and David Lee. I've had nothing. I love this team. I am a diehard Knick fan. I've had nothing. So many people, if you're under the age of 40, you've had very little. You might barely remember the end of those 90s runs with Riley and then the Van Gundy teams, obviously with Patrick and Starks and then Sprewell and Houston. That's a long time ago. There's an entire generation that has had nothing, and that's also part of the reason why So many of these fans, a lot of them younger, are going crazy because you've had nothing. It is surreal. It is a fan base that has deserved this. They were chasing the superstar for so long, and the guy who leads them to a title is a guy who people said was too small, nice player. Knicks probably overpaid, but hey, that's free agency. Got to do it. I believe there's a popular commentator on ESPN who said the Jalen Brunson sweepstakes, that's pathetic. Just amazing, man. Just this fan base, again, deserves every second of the joy and glory that this championship is going to bring. More of your calls on the other side. We're going till 6 a.m., baby. Pop open the champagne. The Knicks are world champions. Jake Asman with you. 880 ESPN New York and the ESPN New York YouTube channel. They said it couldn't be done. They said they had no shot. The Western Conference Finals is the real NBA Finals. Victor Wembanyama is the best player in the world. He's going to embarrass Jalen Brunson. The New York Knicks are world champions. The comeback Knicks are the champion Knicks. The best thing that happened for the Knicks tonight was they were down 10 points at the end of the first quarter. Are you kidding me? What a team this is. It's just the manner of which they won so many of these games in the playoffs, the dominance that they showed after being down 2-1 to Atlanta. They blow out the Hawks the rest of the series. Sweep Philadelphia, kill Philadelphia. What happens against Cleveland where they snatch their soul with that comeback after game 1. 22 points down with 7 minutes to go. Win the next 3. The Cavs quit in the series. They had no shot against this Knicks wagon. And then the Knicks go on the road and take not one, but both games. Go up 2-0. Lose game 3 at home. And in game 4 are down 29 points, including 27 at halftime. And OG Anunoby gave you a moment that when we talk about this team, this season, that moment will last a lifetime, and this is a championship that will last a lifetime. It will never be forgotten. Again, when we talk about the great teams, or the more beloved teams, right, in New York sports, if you're talking beloved teams, the 26 Knicks are on that list. The 2025-2026 New York Knicks are world champions. Think about that. Hang the banner. And you know what? James Dolan, if you want to hang the NBA Cup banner too while you're at it, why not? Unbelievable. Everyone's better than the Knicks until you play the Knicks. They don't have a 1A. They didn't win the cat trade. They gave up too much for Mikal Bridges. Analytically, they actually lost this game. I just go down the line and pick your excuse, and this team said it don't matter. This team has brought more joy to this town than any team we've had in forever. It is incredible. And the long-suffering, diehard Knick fan, God, do they deserve it. How's Becky Hammond doing tonight? Remember, she said, Brunson's your best player. You can't win. He's not a 1A. Here's Jalen Brunson being asked about those comments at the podium after the Knicks became world champs.
Now that you're NBA champion, what's your message for people saying that you're not a 1A guy?
I didn't respond to them then. I'm damn sure not going to respond to them now.
Hell yeah, mic drop. He is an all-time New York athlete. He is an immortal. He really is. There's no other way around it. We have done the debate on the station, who's the king of New York, and it's always Brunson or Judge. And this is coming from a diehard Yankee fan in addition to being obviously a diehard Knick fan. It's not even close. What Jalen Brunson has done, what he has delivered to the city, we will feel forever. 53 years between championships. Special. Special, special, special. The Knicks are world champs. Say it again. If you're driving right now in your car, if you're watching on YouTube, say it out loud. The New York Knicks are world champions. D in Queens, you're up next here on our Knicks Victory Show. Hello, D.
What's going on, fellas? Listen, my biggest thing is that I'm happy for Patrick Ewing.
Me too.
Like, part of my origin story of hating the Knicks is the way he was treated. And you might be too young. He was treated horribly. Like, awful. And seeing him playing around with Shaq, fun fact, Shaq loves Patrick Ewing and hates David Robinson. Hilarious. But the way he was treated when I was growing up was so bad. And seeing him being celebrated and people realizing that, he didn't have the dogs. Like, I remember it was only Pat Riley and the Van Gundy's who would actually defend him. And, like, it was a weird thing. Like, his peers would talk about him one way, but he would get booed. People would just trash him. To see him with some joy, him smiling. I wish Oakley was there. I wish Mark Jackson was there. Again, the Knicks won in spite of their owner because he's still, But, celebrate, Knicks fans. Be happy. Be great. All right? But don't talk about Becky Hammond, by the way. Don't talk about Becky Hammond. Like, don't go negative. Like, you guys won. Be happy. Be joyous. Whatever happened. It's
here's
over.
The thing, though, D.
It's over.
I'm a vindictive person. I'm petty. I keep receipts. So I'm going after everybody. I'm going after everybody.
But I'm just happy for Patrick Ewing. I'm happy for him. I agree. Yeah, I really am. So congratulations to the Knicks.
Thank you, D. Look, here's what I'll say for Patrick. I think in real time, he's probably not appreciated the way he should be because of all the heartbreak you go through. And then as time goes on and you see what the Knicks have been since they've had Patrick Ewing, you appreciate the guy a heck of a lot more. And I can speak to this. I was at Game 4 the other night, and there was a moment as the Knicks are mounting the comeback when they start showing highlights from the game. And the highlights on the big screen were basically merged into highlights of Patrick Ewing at the same time. Then they cut to Ewing after they do this, and the reception from the crowd was incredible. So Patrick is certainly getting his due, and it was amazing to see him and Clyde hand Brunson the Eastern Conference Finals MVP trophy, and obviously they're around the team during this entire run. They're going to all the games, and it's truly surreal seeing them there. But Knicks fans, they're going to celebrate. They're going to keep receipts on all the things that were said because the Knicks fan has been beaten down for a very long time. Even during this run, Kat talked about it in one of the interviews I saw after the game. That people were picking against the Knicks each round. Remember the conversation when they were down 2-1 to the Hawks? Is Mike Brown about to get fired? Is Leon Rose's job in jeopardy? These were real things. Then it was, the Sixers are a tougher matchup for the Knicks. They got all this momentum. Things were said about Cleveland as well. It's just you go down the line. Again, going into the finals, the Knicks were underdogs. They won in 5. They won 3 games on the road. The Knicks did something that we have not seen in the modern NBA. Seriously. The Knicks are the first team in the last 50 years to overcome a double-digit deficit 4 times in a single NBA Finals. They won 9 straight games on the road. They just passed the 0-1 Lakers that had Shaq and Kobe for the longest winning streak within a postseason. This team has done things that we have not seen. And again, the head coach, Mike Brown, should get more credit than he's currently getting, and I hope he gets his due, and same with a guy like Leon Rose. It took the Knicks winning a championship for Leon Rose to get up there at the podium and actually have to speak to Ernie Johnson tonight. That's what it takes to get an interview with Leon Rose. And you know what? I think Knicks fans will sign up a year from now if that's the next time we hear from Leon Rose is at the next trophy ceremony. Unbelievable. Unreal. World champions. Say it again, Knicks fans. Say it again. 800-919-3776. We're getting right back to your calls. We got plenty of post-game sound to get to. The streets of New York are crazy. Be safe if you're out partying and celebrating. We're going to keep you on the air here, keep you company into the overnight on 880 ESPN New York. Jake Asman with you till 6 a.m. More coming up right here. Again, on YouTube, on the station, of course, the ESPN New York app. Jake Asman with you. We're coming back right after this. The Knicks are world champs. The New York Knicks are world champions. I just watched a great clip of Karl Anthony Towns crashing an interview Patrick Ewing was doing with reporters right after the game tonight, saying that the championship that the Knicks won was for Ewing. That's special stuff, man. Special stuff. This team's so likable. The way the Knicks alumni, the legends, have traveled with them. The way they're all sitting there courtside watching these games. It is, as a fan, some of the coolest things that we've seen during this special run. And again, what Jalen Brunson authored tonight will never be forgotten. What he's authored since he's been a Knick will never be forgotten. Unanimous MVP for the NBA Finals, Jalen Brunson. All 11 votes for the Knick captain, who has made himself a New York City immortal. When we talk about the most impactful athletes in the history of this town, the most impactful championships from the teams in this town, the 26 Knicks are on that list. Pick any team you want. Miracle Mets of 69, the Joe Namath Jets with the guarantee. You go down the line. Either of the Knick teams that won world titles. Willis Reed, of course, synonymous with that one. We'll talk about OG's tip as perhaps the moment of this team's finals run. But Brunson's 45 in the closeout game is part of the conversation forever. And for what he has done, I mean, you talk about the great captains of New York, the great clutch athletes of New York, whether it be Messier or Jeter or Eli. Brunson is in all these conversations. He already was, and now he has solidified himself in the pantheon of New York sports. And this Knicks team, again, will go down as one of the most beloved teams that has ever brought the city a title. It is surreal. This was Mike Brown being asked about his captain, his MVP, Jalen Brunson.
I've said it. I hope you guys will listen to me. But he's a top 3 MVP candidate. Everybody kind of mentions his name in passing. They don't do it seriously enough. People say he's too small. People say he's a 1B or a 2B or whatever. He is a freaking 1A. He is an MVP candidate. And I hope tonight you guys, I'm talking to media, more than the fans, but I hope you guys recognize what this man is about, because he is A1 MVP.
Facts.
He is him.
He's him.
He is him.
He is him.
He is him.
He is. He is.
Can you say he is him? No?
No.
Okay. This is my grandson, Iverson.
Shout out to Iverson. And shout out to Ariel Huck-Porty up there, who's been dominating these press conferences and all the clips, having a good time. Good for him. And Mike Brown is spot on. All right? Brunson's too humble of a guy to address all the nonsense that has been said about him, all the doubts that people have had. But Mike Brown is spot on there. And again, Jalen Brunson has etched himself into the pantheon of New York sports. 45 points tonight. And think about how different this game could have been if he was seriously injured on that play where Wembanyama clearly should have picked up a flagrant foul for not giving Brunson a clear path to land after that made three-pointer. That was egregious. That was a textbook definition of a landing spot flagrant. Brunson was called for a less egregious one earlier in this series. And if they had gave Wemby a flagrant, he was done. He wouldn't play in Game 6. He would have been automatically suspended because he is a dirty player that has picked up enough flagrants where he should have been out. And if the NBA actually assessed the foul that Wemby had on Brunson in Game 3 as a flagrant like it should have been, he already would have been out for Game 5. But we know the NBA's got to protect its golden child. I never want to hear anything about Wembanyama again. You talk about a guy who had, all this great PR. Everyone talks about how great he was, special. The way he acted, the way he carried himself in this series, the way he got badly outplayed by the best player on the floor in the series, Jalen Brunson. We will remember that for Wembanyama, the way he threw the ball off his teammate's backside in Game 2 and then missed the free throws as he's choking away an all-time lead in an NBA Finals game in Game 4. Those are the memories we should have for Victor Wembanyama, that he's a dirty player who choked in crunch time. Knicks in 5, world champions. 800-919. ESPN is the number. More of your calls. Lamar in the Bronx. Lamar, you're on ESPN New York. What's going on?
Jake, the ghost of Frederick Weiss is gone. Aren't you happy?
The ghost of Jared Jeffries, Jerome James, Frank Ntilikina, Kevin Knox, David Fizdale. Oh, all of it.
Oh, gosh, this is such a happy day. I'm 50 years old, man, so I've been going through the pain. But I want to tell you the person who I think should be MVP, and that is James Dolan. Hear me out. He finally let some basketball people run this organization to the way it should be instead of putting a Band-Aid on everything. He finally let people who had basketball knowledge run this team, and that's why we're champions today. I hope you agree with me.
Well, Lamar, I'll tell you what, great call. Here's the thing I'll say for James Dolan. When he hired Leon Rose, that wasn't the popular hire at the time. He gets credit for that. Obviously, he has stayed out of the way and allowed Leon to do his thing. But you said he let the basketball people run the team. Remember, when they hired Leon Rose, the conversation was they hired an agent to run the team. But he's never been a GM before. He hired Phil Jackson to be the GM of the team, and he had only been a coach. Those were the things that were said. Dolan got heat for that hire. He deserves credit for the Leon Rose hire, Worldwide West, the entire front office. And obviously, again, the Knicks are not at this point without what Tom Thibodeau built with this team the last 5 years before this one. They were in the gutter. They were in the dumpster fire. They were a dumpster fire. They're not here without Tibbs. And it's crazy how sports work because Mike Brown now is Joe Torre and Tom Thibodeau is Buck Showalter. Mike Brown is Steve Kerr. Tom Thibodeau is Mark Jackson. Crazy how sports works. And again, I was a Tibbs guy. Thought it was too big of a risk to move on from, but what else can you say about Mike Brown other than anyone who doubted him? Hand up, we were wrong. He was amazing. He deserves all the credit. All the credit. The way he empowered his bench, the way guys never quit and they played for him. I mean, again, there's just so many heroes from this team. It's 4 hours is not enough time this morning as we take you till 6 a.m. to talk all about it. 800-919-3776. Let's say hello to Rich in Orange, who's up next on ESPN New York with Jake Asman. Rich, let's go. What? Not. Rich. Can't say that word.
Never mind.
Can't say that word. Raymond Santiago, I know you won't say that word.
Actually, I said that word several times, just not in front of a microphone or a telephone.
Let's see if Lee on Long Island could get through a call without dropping a certain word that starts with F-U and fill in the rest. Hello, Lee.
No, I'm pretty level-headed. I'm not going to start screaming and cursing. Jake, I got to tell you, you touched on a couple of things before when you were talking about how likable this team is. But I got to tell you, it was so workmanlike this entire playoffs. They were so singularly focused the entire time that, I mean, every game they won, it was like they were preparing for the next game. They were getting ready. When they were down a bunch of points, even like, because I went to bed during the Cleveland Cavs game 1, the comeback. I missed that in real time, and I watched it the next morning. When I woke up, my cell phone had been blown up. And the process of, we're down 20, but we're going to keep working because we're going to take that momentum into the next game. And if they come back, they came back. They did. They win in overtime. Even when they won the Eastern Conference Finals, they looked like they won against the Wizards in February. Like, it was so workmanlike that they knew they had a goal and they had not achieved that goal, so there was not a champagne bottle being popped for the Eastern Conference Finals. Nothing. Singularly focused. It was such a pleasure to watch because while the city is partying after every win, they are going to work after every win. It was unbelievable to watch. It was the greatest run in any of the teams I root for ever in this city, and it was fantastic. And I just want to make one other quick point. I really think one of the things that this finals, because this is the most watched finals in 30 years, they were saying, right?
That's correct. Yep.
Yeah. So what I feel like happened for Victor Wembanyama is he's gotten exposed as a dirty, petty player, and I think that's going to be a very hard reputation for him to shake because it was done in front of the largest audience that in his lifetime, really. And I think the dirty play and that the NBA protecting him with these non-flagrant calls that were clearly flagrant fouls. I mean, the one he got away with today, putting his foot under Brunson, and I mean, it was so nice to see the Knicks being able to overcome and rise above that and not bow down to that pettiness or kowtow to that pettiness. But this is this is the best run, and I think their workmanlike demeanor is something that is going to be celebrated, and their humbleness after every win is something that's going to be celebrated and respected in this city for decades.
Lee, excellent call. Excellent call. Spot on. And that starts with Brunson, right? It's 0-0. It's 0-0. He's asked that after every game. He says the same thing, and he means it. And they feed off that. When your captain sets the tone like that, and everyone can follow suit, that's how things like this could happen. But I have never seen a team in my lifetime watching sports, especially a New York team, that was this locked in. They go down 2-1 to Atlanta, and from that point on, we have never seen a team this locked in. I don't think we've ever seen it in New York sports. The 98 Yankees were down 2-1 in the ALCS. The 99 Yankees actually were more dominant in their playoff run. But here are the Knicks rattling off 15 of 16. They won 3 games on the road against a 60-plus win Spurs team that eliminated the defending champions. The Knicks were underdogs in the series. You wouldn't know it if you watched them. And again, tonight, the bad news was they were down double digits after the first quarter. The good news was they were down double digits after the first quarter. You can't make it up. The comeback Knicks are champions. They trailed by at least 12 in every game of these finals, and they never gave up. And obviously, we will all remember where we were, who we were with when they capped off the comeback on the OG tip-in. But this is just special stuff, man. This is a run that we will never forget. And I do think our last caller, Lee, is onto something. This was the most watched NBA Finals since Michael Jordan's last NBA Finals against Utah in '98. A lot of people saw Victor Wembanyama for the player he is, a dirty one. That's who he is, a dirty basketball player. Let's squeeze Josh in Columbus in before we take a quick break and keep rattling through your calls for the next 3 hours. Josh, you're on with Jake Asman. Let it rip.
Jake, man, I don't even know what to say. I had my mom on FaceTime for the last minute. We're both freaking out. And as the clock hits 000, the first thing that I think of is, what are the things as a Knicks fan I used to get excited about? And I'm like, man, remember when I thought David Fizdale might be a good hire, or like Clay Anthony Early might be something? And like, to look at everything we've gone through, and even, shoot, this team won like 17 games 6 years ago. And here we are now. I'm genuinely speechless. I can't go to bed. I'm so full of energy. I'm proud of my team. I'm proud of my city. Like, this is something special, and we're going to remember this forever. And it feels even sweeter knowing all the crap we had to get through to get here.
Well said, Josh. I'm glad you got to have that moment with your mom, with your family. It's crazy. I mean, Jeff Hornacek, David Fizdale, Lenny Wilkins, Larry Brown, Isaiah Thomas. All the nonsense we had to deal with. Phil Jackson. It's just, go down the line. Brutal. Scott Perry. If you're a Knicks fan, you know the players we tried to talk ourselves into. Kevin Knox looked really good in Summer League. I actually told people, man, I really like Kevin Knox because he looked good in Summer League. This is what we went through as fans. This is why this championship will last a lifetime, and why we are celebrating all night and now morning long. 3 hours to go. We're an hour in. Jake Asman with you. Words I never thought I'd be able to say. Celebrating a Knicks championship.
The New York Knicks have done it. They are the 2026 NBA champions. Now, here's Jake Asman.
New York, baby. World champions for the first time in 53 years. World champions. Say it, Knicks fans. It will never get old. For as long as they talk about sports and New York sports specifically, the 2026 Knicks will be mentioned. They will never be forgotten. They are one of the great teams of New York sports and one of the most beloved teams of New York sports. Their greatness was displayed by going 16-3 in the postseason, by winning 15 of their final 16 basketball games, including 3 road games in the NBA Finals against a 60-plus win team that eliminated the defending champions in their building in the previous round. That's greatness. That is dominance. And they will be beloved because they have a humble superstar who helped resurrect this franchise from the dead, who took a $100 million pay cut to help this team be put together by their legendary general manager, Leon Rose. A team that was coached by a guy who I believe is now going to the Basketball Hall of Fame in Mike Brown. Been to multiple finals with 2 different franchises, won 4 rings as an assistant coach, and just helped the New York Knicks win their first title in 53 years. What can you say about this team? We're going to try and say something because we're with you till 6 a.m., a show I have dreamed of doing for one of the teams I root for on this radio station. A post-game show talking to the fans of a world champion team, and that is the Knicks fan who deserves this. A fan base that has been through it all finally gets to see a parade. And how about this for a stat? This is from Josh Dubow of the Associated Press. Thursday will be the Knicks championship parade down the Canyon of Heroes. It's the first championship parade the Knicks have ever had. In 1970, they had a celebration at the Gracie Mansion. In 1973, they had a celebration at City Hall. The Knicks have never gone down the Canyon of Heroes. That changes on Thursday. There's a parade going on right now in New York City. If you just see the images and the videos of all the fans celebrating. And this is going to be a title that we will never, ever forget. Ever. You know, many of us grow up hearing about, the 70 Knicks and 73. How great some of those moments Bernard King provided in the 80s. Obviously, Patrick and those 90s Knicks teams that came up just short in 94 and in 99. If you're a Knicks fan my age, you grew up with some of those Marbury teams. I was in the building for Linsanity the first night it started when Mike D'Antoni put him in off the bench against the then New Jersey Nets. You had the 54-win season with Carmelo, and then after that it was just ineptitude. 17-win seasons. Losing the lottery, never getting the player that we were promised, or so we thought. And then it all changed when James Dolan finally hired the right people to run his franchise. Leon Rose, who then hires Tom Thibodeau. And this run that the Knicks have been on, it all started then. Tibbs taking a team that won 30-something games the previous year, winning 40-plus games and going to the playoffs. They lose in 5 to the Hawks. The following year, they're not good enough to even get to the playoffs. Then they signed this guy named Jalen Brunson, and the rest is history. Going further each year since. Culminating with a performance tonight that will be discussed forever. 45 points in a closeout game. Cat had 2 points tonight. Karl Anthony Towns had 2 points tonight. OG Anunoby only had 11. He was in foul trouble. He shot 3 of 11 from the field. He had a rare off night. He had been so good in these playoffs. And it's Jalen Brunson who steps up with 45 points. Completely took over the fourth quarter of this game. Showed Victor Wembanyama what a superstar actually looks like in the clutch. And delivered this team a title that we will never forget. And Knicks fans, this is for you. Phone lines are filled up, and we're going to be celebrating it all morning long as we take you till 6 a.m., baby. World champs. If you're in your car, if you're watching at home, If you're watching on the YouTube channel, wherever you are, say it out loud. The New York Knicks are world champions. To the phone lines we go. Bo in Queens started off in the 3 a.m. hour. Bo, what do you got?
What's up, brother? First of all, I'm out of beer, and I'm almost out of vodka, so let me rip this off before I run out of everything. I've heard a lot of Knicks fans calling in saying I'm a fan since the 70s or the 90s, and I respect that. But let me offer a different perspective. I only started rooting for the Knicks in 2017 after the Yankees lost to the Astros in the ALCS. I'm a diehard Yankees fan. That's my team. I was looking for a team to follow to keep up my excitement, and I picked up the Knicks even though they suck. My coworker, Mr. R.T. Sanders, told me, I love that you're following the Knicks, but they're not winning nothing. But it was nice following a team with zero expectations, unlike the Yankees. And I watched all their games for the next 2 years. I dealt with the struggles. I love Trey Burke. I thought he was the future point guard of that team, and I'm so glad that I was wrong. And then they got Julius, and everything changed, and I love this championship as much as I would love a Yankee championship right now. I love them so much. I'm so glad I started to watch them back in October 2017. They led me to this night. Thank you so much for the call. Thank you so much for letting me be a part of this. Let's go Knicks.
Great call. If you picked up the Knicks in 2017, you didn't see very much winning, obviously. And you've watched this team come together over the last several years into what they now are, world champs. And there's fans of all generations that have not seen a title in forever. Again, a lot of Knick fans are also Jet and Met fans, Islander fans. If you're under 40, you don't have a single championship to your name. I watched this game tonight with a diehard Met fan, Jet fan, Islander fan, Knick fan. My friend Dan, who I was the best man at his wedding, he always has said, I am a career loser. And tonight, I finally have seen one of my teams win. That's what this championship does for so many fans out there. On Long Island, there's a term, you're a gym fan, Jets, Islanders, Mets. And you've seen a lot of pain and very little winning of any kind. Forget a championship. You root for those teams and you're 40 and under, let's say. Now look at what the Knicks have provided. What this title means for so many people. Unreal. And if you're a Yankee fan, it's been a while. 2009 is a long time ago. We've been waiting. The Giants, 2012, that's a long time ago. We have gone a long time in this city without a championship. We were long overdue. And we finally have one. Leany in North Carolina is up next on our show. Leany, you're on with Jake Asman. The Knicks are world champions, baby.
Jake, oh my God. I'm going to cry again. I've just been crying the whole time. I am so excited. I can't believe this is happening. You know, I've been a Knicks fan since the late 80s. So 94 and 99 was heartache. And I'm 26, and I said it in your Discord. I don't know if you saw it, that this gave me 94 Ranger vibes, just the way the Knicks were playing in the playoffs. And I said to Mr. Leany, I said to my son, I said to my brother, the Knicks are going to win. I said, but I don't know how many games. Thank goodness, not like the 94 Rangers, that they went to 7 games, because my heart could not have taken it. But I am so excited. I have to say, I'm going to bite my tongue and whatever. When they fired Thibodeau, I was pissed. And I'm like, what are they doing? And you know what? It worked out. And Brunson was awesome. And I'm glad he won MVP. And I don't know what else to say. I am just so excited. And I love you. And let's go and That's it. I don't know what else to say.
You've said it. You've said it all, Leanie. It's sometimes we're just speechless when we talk about our teams. I'm paid to talk about the Knicks right now. How surreal is that? I do this for free. Don't tell the bosses that. This is unbelievable. And again, the 94 Rangers needed the guy wearing number 11 to help break their long-standing championship drought, 1940. Knicks needed a number 11 as well. And the Knicks did it in 5. We didn't need a Game 6 of the Garden to sweat out, or dare I say a Game 7. Unbelievable. More of your calls as we celebrate a Knicks title. Let's say hello to Lewis in Florida, who's up next on ESPN New York with Jake Asman. Hello, Lewis.
What's up?
Lewis.
We are New York, and we love basketball. We're going to take it all because we're the New York Knicks.
World champs, Lewis. World champs.
Yeah. Yo, Jalen Brunson, number 1 king of New York. Who else is beating him? Judge, Ewing. There's no one competing with him. He gave up money for us to do this. Come on.
I agree. Lewis, look, thank you for the call. In terms of the champions in this city, Brunson is up there with any of them. That's how much this championship will mean and how it will age over time. Joe Namath won 1. We talk about that one. The guarantee, right? Certain championships matter more. Messier's one with the Rangers mattered more than I think the 5 or 6 it was that he won with Edmonton. One championship with the Knicks is a lot more than a championship for another franchise. This team has been a punching bag for a lot of its history, especially the recent history. So you talk about King of New York, it's Brunson as far as the active athletes go, and he has made himself an immortal. When you think about clutch performers in the history of New York sports, he's on that list. Jeter, Rivera, Eli. He's on any list you want to make of the great athletes that have come through this town. Because we love nothing more than when a guy steps up and delivers in the clutch, and then you factor in how likable he is and how humble he is. He is a superstar in every sense of the word. And he led this team to a championship that, again, I will say it again and again, it will never get old, that will last a lifetime. 800-919. ESPN's the number. We are rocking and rolling with you until 6 a.m. We're going to take plenty of your calls. My voice is shot celebrating a win, celebrating a championship, and I would have it no other way. Every time I check Instagram or Twitter and just see different videos of people celebrating on the streets or at all the bars, it just reminds you why we put up with what we put up with being sports fans. Some of the nonsense that comes with it, some of the storylines that obviously are terrible on the field or on the court in this case, the pain and agony, it's why we put up with all of it for moments like tonight. And if you're a Knicks fan that has waited as long as some have, it was all worth it. It was all worth it to finally see a title. To see Jalen Brunson hold up the Larry O'Brien trophy. To see the Knicks pouring beer on the trophy, jumping for joy in the locker room. They're flying back to New York tonight. Could you imagine the amount of alcohol that plane is going to be spraying everywhere? Oh, what it's going to smell like. It's just unbelievable. You got Chalamet and Ben Stiller in the locker room. I saw Mike Brown gave Ben Stiller his whiteboard that he used tonight as a little souvenir. Unbelievable. Knicks fans, it finally has happened. I cried tonight. Tears of joy, screaming and yelling, and the tears just came out. And I think for many, you did too. And that's what it's all about. 800-919-3776. Phone lines are jammed. We're taking calls till 6 a.m. Dave and Rick doing a special Knicks Are Champion show coming your way. Then Ty Butler's on after that. We are live and local as a station all throughout the morning as we celebrate the New York Knicks. We say hello to Don in South Florida, who's first up this segment. Don, thanks for making the call. Let's go Knicks. What do you got for us?
Jake, this is awesome. I can't believe we're the world champs. I'm so excited. I just can't believe it. This is so awesome. I was out with friends watching the game and just I don't even have the words. You know, I had to call and
it's hard to find the words.
I don't even know if it really is. Like it's, you know, in 1994, I fell asleep. I was 10 years old, and my uncle told me that the Knicks won, and I missed the fireworks. And I found out the next day that they didn't, and we had to go to Game 7, and we lost. And now it's just, I love this team. It's just, they're so great, and it's just been awesome. So, Jake, I love you. I just wanted to, you know, call and just be a part of it, you know? And we're the world champs.
Let's go, Don.
It's awesome.
Let's go. Great call. We're all part of this, right? This is a forever team, a forever run. Tonight's a forever night because we will never forget where we were. All of us out there hear the sound of my voice when the New York Knicks became champions for the first time in 53 years. Raphael in Manhattan is up next, here with Jake Asman on ESPN New York. What's up, Raphael?
Jake, what's up, man? Oh, appreciate you taking my call. I'm 36 years old, and I've been with this team since the Houston, Sprewell, Ewing era. They all broke up. 99 is a blur. 94 is a blur. And I got some strange pulls. How about Bruno Sundolf, a backup center?
Yes.
Shannon Anderson.
Yep.
Vin Baker. Steve Francis. I was there when those rosters. I was there for those rosters, and I always had hope when they would win a few games. I would think, yeah, they're going to make the playoffs. They're going to make the playoffs, and everybody around me would say, "Oh, the Knicks, they're trash. They're not going nowhere. They suck. Blah blah blah." And you know, I have some Knicks stories. You know, I ran into James Dolan one time in a place. And I asked for a photo. He had a firm no. You know, at the time, he was still not in very good standing with fans. I met Jamal Crawford when he was on the team at an event one time. I was there from those days. And seeing this championship now is just – I thought I was going to cry because I was holding back tears like all series long because I knew the job wasn't done. But in all honesty, I didn't cry. I was so full of emotion and so full of excitement and so full of happiness that, like, I just enjoyed it. I couldn't cry. I might cry later. I can't believe it's almost 3:30 in the morning. You know, I'm going to go to the parade. And I can't believe it. Yeah. I'm so thankful for this run and for this Knicks team. You know, the remote shows that you guys have had at Stout, Donhan, and Rosenberg, I got to meet them and take pictures with them and see Monica and see some of the Knicks alumni at a watch party because of this Knicks run. And I can't be thankful enough for this championship, and I'm celebrating with them. I got a bottle in the air. I'm holding it up with my left hand right now, and I'm excited and I'm thankful, and I appreciate it.
Raphael, great call. Great call.
New York Knicks.
That's what it's all about. That right there is what it's all about. The journey. He brings up Steve Francis. How about when Steve Francis hit that huge shot to help the 2007 Knicks beat the Washington Wizards? Jumped on the scorer's table. March 10th, 2007. These were the earliest Knick memories I had, like 05, 06, David Lee, Marbury, Eddie Curry, Jerome James, Nate Robinson. You know, I'm not old enough to have the Ewing teams and the Stark teams. There's an entire generation of Knick fans. You're 35 and under. You don't even have those teams. Our best years were the mellow 54-win season. You know, that was it until Leon Rose showed up. They went to the playoffs with Randall and Tibbs that first year, lost to the Hawks in 5. missed the playoffs the next year, right? Didn't work with Kemba Walker and some of the moves, Evan Fournier. And then they signed Brunson, and the rest is history. He will go down as arguably the greatest free agent signing ever in the history of basketball. I think he's the greatest free agent signing in the history of New York sports. I think it surpasses Reggie Jackson, Curtis Martin. I mean, seriously. Brunson just delivered a 45-point performance in a closeout game to help the Knicks win an NBA title. Surreal. Derek in Kansas up next on our championship celebration program here at ESPN New York. Derek, what do you got for us? Derek?
Hello.
Derek? Derek, thank you for the call. I think Derek maybe fell asleep. Maybe he had too much champagne celebrating the Knicks. Andres in Lindenhurst apparently cried at the watch party tonight. Andres, what do you got for us?
Yo, dude, Jake, what's up, brother? Jake, me and you are the same fans of the same teams, Yankees, Knicks, and Jets. Jake, I just want you to – I'm part of a group chat, New York Jets Report group chat, Jets News, and I told everybody in that group chat, keep the faith. I've been a long-time Knicks fan my whole life, and people used to laugh at me, Jake. I was in Rockefeller Center, and when we hit those clutch free throws to go up, I was crying. And there was a lot of people crying inside Rockefeller Center in Radio City Music Hall. It was a lot of people crying, brother. And I'm over here drinking.
Oh, did we lose Andres? I think we lost.
2009.
Go ahead, Andres. Finish your call. We lost you for a second.
Yeah. 2009. We're going to keep going. But, Jake, this is for me and you, brother. For our Jets, we up next. And the next best celebration we're going to have is when our Jets win in 2030. Mark it now, Jake. They're going to win in 2030. We're going to be Super Bowl champs. Tonight I cried my eyes out, but we're going to be Super Bowl champs, brother. Love you. Let's go Knicks, baby. Let's go.
World champs. I'll tell you what. Andres talking about the Jets winning would sound crazy, right, to everyone listening, but what they say about the Jets now is what they were saying about the Knicks pre-Leon Rose. I really think this Knicks title has provided so much hope for all the other teams in the city that haven't won. And the Jets are all by themselves now as far as championship droughts. Right? They were only a few years ahead of the Knicks as far as their drought. Or I guess they would be behind the Knicks. 1968 season. For the Jets, the Knicks, obviously, the 72-73 season. Not anymore. Can the Jets find their Leon Rose? Is that Darren Muji? They don't have their Brunson on their team. That's probably going to be the equivalent of a franchise quarterback in football terms. Who's the coach? They got things to figure out, but what the Knicks have done is at least provide hope for all the teams in New York. 800-919-3776. Quick break. We get right back to your calls. Phone lines are lit up. We're celebrating a title. It's 3:30 in the morning. You wouldn't know the amount of energy that the callers have brought, the amount of energy I'm seeing, and this is a title that will last a lifetime. If you're out partying tonight, drive safely getting home. If you're watching on the YouTube or streaming the show on the app, thanks for making ESPN New York part of your Knicks celebration. Jay in Syracuse wants to talk Knicks. What else is there to talk about, baby? Hello, Jay.
Yo, what's going on, Jake? Shouts out all of my Asmaniacs in the chat.
Let's go, Jay. Let's go.
It was absolutely incredible watching this way up here in Syracuse, man. Because around here, it's a melting pot of, different teams. People are Yankees fans, Mets fans. I even got some Boston fans up here. Some people are Bills fans, Jets, Giants. But, seeing my entire local pub come together, just rooting on the Knicks, because we're all Knicks fans up here, man. Everyone going crazy. And shouts out to my 81-year-old father, John from the Bronx, who moved up here in the 70s, or moved up here in 85. He was in tears, watching him in tears, and other people at the bar, going up to him, shaking his hand. wanting pictures with him because he was the only one in the bar that was alive the last time the Knicks won the championship. And it was just such an amazing experience. And I'll never forget it, man. I'll never forget seeing my father cry for a Knicks championship.
Jay, great call.
Absolutely fantastic.
Great call, Jay. That's awesome. That's what sports is about, right? It's the great connector for different generations of people, different races, creeds, religions. It's the great unifier. That's what this Knicks run has done for the people around the New York City area and all over. All over there's Knicks fans. And they were all over San Antonio. Shout out to all the Knicks fans who were there tonight, were there in Game 1, Game 2. The New York Knicks won 3 road NBA Finals games. They won 9 straight road games to cap off this run, breaking the tie between them and the 2001 Kobe and Shaq-led Lakers for the most consecutive road playoff wins in NBA playoff history. Again, I mean, I could do 4 hours talking about the records the Knicks broke. The comeback Knicks are the champion Knicks. And it is so sweet to say that. Chris in Tom's River, up next with Jake Asman here on ESPN New York. Hello, Chris.
What's up, Jake? First off, I want to shout out to all the YouTube guys out there. What's up, brothers? I'm Jersey Pride on YouTube, so yeah. So I mean, I go back even like when I was 8 years old, and I started watching the movie Eddie with Whoopi Goldberg and the Knicks and everything. I easily watched that movie over like 30 times or whatever, and from that point on, I became like a huge New York Knicks fan. And of course, the following year, the Knicks went to the finals in '99. So it's been 27 years since I've been waiting for this moment, you know. And I had no words, brother. You know, like I'm really soaking it in, and I have a beer with me right now. I'm gonna celebrate it. I'm be honest, I don't think I'm gonna go to sleep tonight, but I love this, man. I'll see you guys at the parade.
Hell yeah, Chris. Great call. Enjoy that beer. Enjoy that beer. I don't care what time it is. It's party time. Ray Santiago and Jacob Perry got beers cracked open in the studio, I hear. I mean, it's getting wild in there. Is that true, Ray?
Oh, yeah, we can't stop back here.
Oh, man. 800-919-3776. Keep rolling through your calls. This night is about you, Knicks fans. You waited forever for this moment. We waited forever for this moment, and we finally have it. And it is as good of a feeling as I hoped it would be. They asked Jalen Brunson on Inside the NBA, is this what you imagined it to be like? And he said, it's even better. Surreal, man. Surreal that the Knicks are world champs. Parade on Thursday. How about that? Down the Canyon of Heroes we go. Danny in Patterson up next on ESPN New York this morning. Hello, Danny.
Hey, how's it going, Jake? So it's crazy to think about all this happening, seeing the last teams that won the championship, and then now we're NBA champions, seeing New York Knicks 2026 champions. But the thing that I want to say is that we went 16-3 during this playoff run, and we've won all of those 3 losses were by a combined 6 points. We have a plus differential of 283, the highest out of any team. But the thing that I think is the best part of it is the fact that besides the Pistons in 2004, we're the only team to have won the NBA championship without having not one player in the first team All-NBA. And that shows just how great our team is. We're not just we're not just one great superstar. We have a great team. And that's something that I've been trying to stress to everybody how great this run has been. Everyone thinks about, the Warriors won 16-1, the Lakers back in 2001 won 15-1, but none of those teams dominated the way we did. And the fact is that we lost those 2 games in Atlanta by 1 point each, and we only lost this game by 4 in Game 3. And it's just a dominating run. and it's just a great run. And the fact that I get to tell people, like, yeah, I follow the Knicks and we got a championship in my lifetime is something that a lot of people, I'm sure, are feeling the same thing, that this is a team that no one picked to win the championship. Everyone was thinking that, anybody who comes out the West, they're going to be the champions. And we dominated the finals. And the fact that we were down by double digits in every game. But you said it best, Jake, when you were saying we're the comeback Knicks. Every game we were down by double digits, and we came back to win every single game. No lead was safe for San Antonio.
Absolutely.
And that was the best part about this whole run.
And great call, Danny. And here's the thing, too. The championship experience the Knicks had, the playoff experience, it showed up in these finals. This is a group that's played a lot of playoff games together. They've had the historic comebacks before. It wasn't just in these finals. It wasn't just against the Cavs in Game 1 of the conference finals. This team was down by 20 points on the road in Boston in back-to-back games and won Game 1 and Game 2. This team has closed teams out before. They closed out Boston in historic fashion last year. They closed out the Hawks and the Sixers and the Cavs in historic fashion this year. They have a killer instinct that starts with their captain. And tonight, we'll celebrate this entire team. We will celebrate the OG play. But this game is so fresh, so raw, because it just happened several hours ago. Watching Jalen Brunson will this team to victory. When Karl Anthony Towns had 2 points and fouled out of the game, OG Anunoby was in foul trouble and had an off night shooting only 3 of 11. And Jalen Brunson had a will to win that we just don't see from athletes in this town very often. He is on the Mount Rushmore of clutch performers. He is an absolute killer. And the one thing our last caller brought up, the Knicks winning this title without a single player that was first-team All-NBA, that's because Jalen Brunson is still overlooked by some, and maybe now with a championship next to his name, that will change. Because he is as good as any superstar we have in this league right now. You want him on your team with the ball in his hands in a tight game in the fourth quarter. Is that not the ultimate sign of respect for a great player? He's the guy you want. And he delivered a title that we will talk about for as long as we all live. That's how special this is. The world champion New York Knicks. These things don't happen to the teams I root for. 16-3 in the playoffs, 15 of their last 16 wins. Remember when the Knicks were down 2-1 to the Atlanta Hawks? One of the more improbable playoff runs we will ever see. We've seen teams in this town win championships and look dominant, but have we seen teams in this town do it seemingly out of nowhere? And it's not like the Knicks in the regular season were a great team. They were a good to very good team. They had moments of greatness. It's weird to call this championship unexpected because the Knicks were expected to get to the finals. That was the goal. They had the talent to do it. They were in the conference finals a year ago. The East we knew would be down with some of the injuries to Halliburton and Tatum, and we knew the story. But somehow this team just went to a different stratosphere. And we'll never forget it. And they embody a team. That's why they're going to be beloved. Starts with the captain. He sets the tone. And they play for each other. They are likable. Again, I said this earlier. I'm doing this show from one of the oddest locations to be celebrating a championship. I'm in Boston right now. One of my best friends from college is getting married tomorrow. I'm a groomsman. Otherwise, I had an offer to go to San Antonio tonight with some of my friends, and I'd be there. So I'm doing this show from a business center at a random hotel in Boston right now. Tonight after the rehearsals dinner, got done at 8. We all went to the bar in the hotel, me and my fellow Knicks fans here who are in town, and watched this game. And we're surrounded by Celtics fans. And even some of the Celtics fans said, as much as I hate New York sports teams, I respect this Knicks team. People respect Brunson. They respect how the Knicks play. how they've come back in these games, how humble they are after they win. It is a surreal feeling to say the New York Knicks are world champions. Let's get to more of your calls now. Let's say hello to Sam in Vegas, who I know was at one of the games in San Antonio. What's up, Sam?
Going on, Jake? First time, long time. Appreciate you having me on. Yeah, man, I was at game 2 out in San Antonio, and the way the Knicks fans showed out, that was great, man. It was it felt like Madison Square Garden light. It was we definitely had a presence no matter where we went, and that was throughout the whole playoffs. Didn't matter which home, away arena we were at. So
it didn't matter what the opponents the opponents' teams were trying to do to keep the Knicks fans out with the ticket nonsense. Even the Spurs were trying that for tonight, and that didn't work as you had 50% Knicks fans, it felt like, tonight.
Yep, we finally, that's the New York way. We find our way to get in, and that's kind of what I wanted to talk about was just, man, if there's a team that's ever embodied what it is to be a New Yorker, it is this team. Just the grittiness, the toughness, that underdog, we don't care mentality. It's us against the world, and just go out night after night and getting it done. So that was the main reason I called. But I also did want to selfishly say one thing. I know you're a Jets fan. You share this sentiment. That was probably after about 3 minutes of celebrating in my head and can't believe that this happened. That was the first thing I thought of, though, was, damn, if it feels this good for the Knicks, just imagine if the Jets actually finally got there one day. So that was definitely crossed my mind.
Great call, Sam. I appreciate you making it. Look, here's the thing, right? If the Knicks could do it, so can the Jets. That's the hope I have, because I've never felt worse about the state of affairs with the New York Jets. But if the Knicks could do it, so can the Jets. Because the same things that are being said about the Jets and their ownership and their ineptitude with who they hire and they'll never win with Woody, these were the same things said about the Knicks. And the Knicks being champions for the first time in 53 years means the Jets lose their closest, as Rich Cimini coined it, friend on the New York Misery Index. The Jets are 57 years without a title. The Nets are now number 2 at 50, although they did win an ABA title. Islanders 43 years, Mets 40, Rangers 32, which is amazing because so much was made of the 54 years between 1940 and 94, and the Rangers are now at 32. Yankees 17, which is surreal that the Yankees are at 17. Giants are at 14. But we've had this debate on the radio station a lot. Which New York team is going to be the team that wins the championship next? And I think most of the years we've done that topic, people have just blindly said the Yankees. They're in the playoffs every year. Over the years, I don't know how many people ever said the Knicks. Not many, that is for sure. And here we are. More of your calls as we celebrate a championship all together here on ESPN New York. Sean in Brooklyn, you're up next with Jake Asman here. What's up, Sean?
Hey, what's going on, bro? Listen, I just want to say I'm thankful for the avenue and channel to express appreciation and excitement. What's crazy is that I'm originally from Brooklyn. My whole family, we're from New York, but we moved to the West Coast. And unfortunately, my wife's dad, he had heart failure, and so we came back with about 2 weeks ago. And so unfortunately, he passed away, but before he passed, he was like, the Knicks may make it this season. And I was like, well, we'll see. And so we had, his funeral service today. And so we weren't even supposed to be on the East Coast, but because we came here, my sons and my family, we've been able to, just be here to experience all this. So, yeah, we've been sad, but we've been able to experience a little bit of celebration as well and appreciate just the fact that, our family, we came together and during a tough time, but a celebratory time as well. So, thank you guys. New York, I'm so happy for you guys, and I'm so happy for my family that we're able to experience this.
Sean, great call. My condolences to you and your family. That's the power of sports right there, right? That call right there. I'm glad that the Knicks winning a championship and you being here for these games during the finals, you've got a chance to feel a part of it. That's awesome. That is awesome. Oh, man. A Billy Joel rejoin telling me the Knicks won the title. This is a dream. As a diehard Knick fan and diehard William Joel fan, shout out to Ray Santiago. I can't believe it. The Knicks are world champs. I was going through some of the just stats from the series during the commercial break, and we're going to get right back to your calls at 800-919-3776. We're with you till 6 a.m. I am wired. It does not feel like 4 a.m. if you're a Knicks fan right now. We are going all night into the morning, and we are going to celebrate this title. The Knicks, in their 4 wins, they came by a combined 16 points, which ties the 1975 Warriors and the 1963 Celtics for the third lowest total point differential in the finals by a team that won in the history of the league. And think about like these games. Every game the Knicks trailed by at least 12 or more points. Every game. In all 5 of the games, they trailed by at least 10 or more at the end of the first quarter. The Knicks spent more time in this series trailing by double digits than they actually led by any amount of time. They trailed by double digits 62 minutes and 21 seconds. They led for 56 minutes and 43 seconds. The Knicks only had a lead in a series they won in 5 games for 23.6% of total time. That, according to ESPN research, is the lowest percentage of time spent leading the finals by any team that's actually won the NBA Finals. Hard to believe. But that is why this Knicks team is special. They are winners. They are never out of a game. They have proven that. They are battle-tested. They are resilient. Brunson joked that they show up 30 minutes after the tip-off time. And he's right. But they win. It's surreal. They didn't lead by a lot in these finals in any of the games. But going into the finals, they had a historic margin of victory. So they dominated their way to get to the finals and then had to gut out 5 close games, winning 4 of them to win the finals. They just showed that they are a true team. They are a dominant team that when they faced another great team, and the Spurs no doubt are a great team, they won 60-plus games. They obviously beat the defending champions on the road. But the Knicks showed you that they have the heart of a champion. They are a group of winners. And they will never, ever be forgotten. I mean, what this team has given this city, what they have given this fan base, special. Special. 800-919-3776 if you want in on the conversation. You can tweet me as well, at Jake Asman. Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Watch the show on the ESPN New York YouTube. If you're up late or you're up early, it's all the same tonight as we celebrate a Knicks championship. Let's get back to your calls, Knicks fans. JJ in Harrison, first up in the 4 a.m. hour here on ESPN New York. Hello, JJ.
Yo, good morning.
Good morning, good evening, whatever the case may be.
I just wanted to take a quick moment to thank some players that have gotten me through to today. Thank you, Al Harrington, David Lee, Wilson Chandler, Danilo Gallinari, Nate Robinson, Carmelo Anthony, Pablo Prigioni, Rony Turioff, Jeremy Lin, Kevin Knox, Precious Achua, Dante DiVincenzo, Josh Hart, OG Cat, Jalen Brunson. This is the first time in my life my home team has won a championship. I will never forget how this feels. The New York Knicks are your NBA champions. Be excellent to each other and party on, dudes.
JJ, great call. Great call. Shout out to Ennis Cantor, too. Kevin Knox. Frank Ntilikina. Trey Burke. Alec Burke. It's amazing, man. It is amazing. Jeremy Lin, Steve Novak, Maury Stoudemire, J.R. Smith, Tyson Chandler. World champions, New York Knicks. Keep rolling with your calls as we celebrate all together. Derek in Kansas is up next. Hello, Derek.
Jake, how we doing, brother man?
What's up, Derek?
What is up, my dear friend? 53 years and the drought is over. I just want to say this could not have happened to a more diehard and better fan base, man. This is something that's been going on for the longest time. When I called into your show before the series even started, I had the Knicks in 6. They won it in 5, brother. 2 games by 1 point, 15-16. I just want to shout out every single Knicks fan that's out there. It could not have happened to a better human, to a better fan base, to a team that has been starving for 53 years of this, brother. How happy were you whenever you seen that they were finally won?
It's surreal, Derek. Great call, and I appreciate the kind words because I didn't know what it would feel like. It was interesting because in the other series the Knicks had won to this point, the closeout game, they dominated. So it was like a party, and you weren't going to go crazy and scream at the final whistle because the game had long been in doubt. That was not the case tonight. The Knicks could have honestly put the game on ice a lot quicker if they hit some free throws. Mitchell Robinson came up with one of the most important defensive rebounds ever at the end of this game. But my reaction was to scream and yell, and then some of the tears came out immediately. I actually tweeted at Jake Asman a video of my reaction watching with a bunch of my Knick fan friends who are also inside this Boston hotel where I'm doing the show from for this wedding we're all in tomorrow. Tonight was the rehearsal dinner. It got done at 8. We watched at the bar tonight for the 8:30 tip-off. We were locked in. I mean, it was screaming and yelling and euphoria, man. Then a big champagne toast at the bar right after. World champs, baby. And I'm essentially doing this show for free right now because of the amount of money I have already spent on hats that are sold out, by the way. T-shirts, hoodies, you name it, that say New York Knicks NBA champions. I'm basically working for free right now, and it is all worth it. Eli in Brooklyn up next on our show this morning. Hello, Eli.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Good to have you on. Thank you.
What's up, Eli?
I just want to talk about the greatness that this is about to bring to New York. New York, first of all, the Knicks, such a variety of a team. Just the comparison that it brings to New York. You got Mitchell Robinson, who, people were shitting on him for the way he was shooting.
You can't say that, Eli. Can't say that. Certain words you can't say on the radio. Otherwise, the FCC will come for me. 800-919-3776. We only had to use the dump button twice the first 2 hours. That's pretty good, considering this Knicks fan base is winning a championship for the first time in 53 years. Back to your calls. Open phone lines for all you Knicks fans out there who want in. The lines have been filled the entire show, and there's a couple spots open right now if you go quick. Keep it rolling. Kyle and Hackensack up next on our show this morning with Jake Asman. Hello, Kyle.
Hey, morning. I've been trying to get in since we won. I got a name for you, Antonio McDyess.
Yes.
I had that jersey in high school. He was going to be our savior until the preseason, and he slipped on sweat. I got made fun of. Man, this is such a good feeling. I'm just getting back to Hackensack. I got on my motorcycle. I rode through the city. Felt the energy, felt the vibe.
What was that
This
like,
an
Kyle?
amazing feeling.
I mean, you were able to ride a motorcycle around? You weren't worried about all the people that were going to be in your way?
I got a sports bike. I was cutting through. I was having a good time. All the boroughs, and it was the same energy in every borough. Roll past Barclays Center, everybody's in a Knicks shirt. It was just an amazing feeling. And on top of that, my son's birthday is June 13th. So this is always going to be something that I'll always remember. It's just an amazing feeling, amazing time.
Amen, Kyle. Great call. Glad you got home safe. And here's the thing, right? You mentioned Barclays Center. Where are all the people that said the Mikal Bridges trade was a bad idea? F them picks. Look, full disclosure, the trade that the Knicks made to get Bridges, I think it was already a win for the Knicks when they got to the finals. But now, what are we even talking about? There's no debate. They made that move to help put together a team that they felt could win it all, win a title.
Them picks.
For you talking about them picks?
Yes, sir.
F them picks. Who's that, Huck Purdy trying to get Bridges to say it?
I mean, he did say it eventually.
Hey, we got there. It took a bit, but we did get there.
I mean, how's it
Them picks.
for you? You talking about them picks?
Yes, sir.
There was a great video of Mikal Bridges that the ABC cameras caught right after the Knicks won the title. They cut to him, and he's in tears. That guy's a Knick. All right? This team will be immortalized forever. The starting five, Brunson in the rafters. No Knick will ever wear number 11. And I think there's a good chance by the time it's all said and done, 32 could be up in the rafters. 3 for Josh Hart could be up in the rafters. 8 for Adenobi could be up there. This is a beloved team. Not to mention the contributions they got from Alvarado, from Shamet, from Mitchell Robinson, who has been here 8 years, was part of a 17-win Knicks season. Surreal. Absolutely surreal. It is an honor to be on the air. This is one of the highlights of my broadcasting career, to do this show for 4 hours overnight after the Knicks won a championship on a Saturday night. I don't even know what time it is. I guess it's technically 4:17 a.m. Doesn't feel like it if you're a Knicks fan. How could you go to bed right now? The comeback Knicks are the champion Knicks. Remember, everybody's better than Jalen Brunson until it's time to be better than Jalen Brunson. Remember, everyone's better than the Knicks until you actually play the Knicks. 16-3 in the postseason, 15-1 over their last 16. A championship and a run to a championship unlike any we have ever seen. What a moment, Knicks fans. Parade on Thursday. Can you believe it? 800-919-3776. Jefferson in Murray Hill wants in on the conversation. Good morning, good evening, whatever time it is, Jefferson. What do you got for us tonight?
It's good morning. The Knicks just won the NBA championship. I don't even know what to say. I'm with my buddy Nick right now. Nick, what do you have to say?
It's just crazy. I mean, I can't believe it. And it's just madness. It's 50-something years, and the Knicks haven't won, and it's just amazing for the city. What do you think?
I think it's amazing. I mean, I think you nailed it. I think it's amazing for the city. How could it not be? Now, be safe to everyone out there. Parade will be on Thursday, but from what I saw tonight, it was just joy. Jubilation. I saw a great video of thousands of Knicks fans singing Empire State of Mind. It is unreal. Think about where this team was when Leon Rose took over and where they are now. And the only way you can actually hear from the architect of the team is after they win a championship. I had people in my life saying, I didn't even know what Leon Rose sounded like until he gave that interview with Ernie Johnson after the Knicks had clinched the title. But shout out to Leon. He put this team together. The Knicks front office was brilliant. All the moves they made on the margins to get here. Some of the signings they made that they were able to turn into the players that they have now on the team. Leon Rose inherited a team that had Julius Randle on it. He hired Tom Thibodeau. Randle had never played better. Became an All-NBA player. Randle playing as well as he did. Leon Rose then signing Dante DiVincenzo. That helps you land Karl Anthony Towns. Leon flips Cam Reddish for Josh Hart. Leon accumulates all these assets and then turns it into Mikal Bridges. Leon drafts Emmanuel quickly. He inherits R.J. Barrett. Barrett plays his best ball under Tom Thibodeau. They turn R.J., who I loved, and Emmanuel quickly, who I loved. They turn that into OG Anunoby. Go down the line. The smart signings, the shrewd moves. Signing Shamet, Deuce McBride. Some of the other moves over the years, right? Isaiah Hartenstein, who was he before the Knicks signed him? Now look at him. This was not a quick fix. This took time. James Dolan stayed out of it. He let his basketball people do the job. He deserves credit for this championship. He finally got it right. He said this team was going to be in the finals and should win the finals. And you know what, Jim? You were right. Knicks in 5. Jim was right. 800-919, ESPN, the number. Ricardo in California up next on ESPN New York. Hello, Ricardo.
Hey, what's up, Jake? This is Ricardo from Magenta, California. I just want to say the New York Knicks, world champions. Hey, New York, you guys deserve this. I'm from the East Coast. I'm from Long Island originally, but I came out to California a long time. I'm surrounded by a bunch of Los Angeles Lakers fans, Dodgers, losers, tools that rooted for the success of their Dodgers beating my Yankees in the World Series. God, I hate them all. I'm so happy for the Knicks. I'm so happy for the Knicks fans. This is a big victory for everyone in New York. I'm so happy for you guys, for Jalen Brunson, for Mikal Bridges, for OG Anunoby, for Karl Anthony Towns, and all you guys, for you, Jake, the diehard Jets fan that I love, the diehard New York sports fan that I love, and I got to be honest with you right now. This isn't Ricardo from Magenta, California. This is Rich Rice, a.k.a. Rich's Man Bun. Sorry for cursing earlier. Let's go, Knicks, New York, baby. Let's go.
Rich, great job, man. Great call. Love the energy. Oh, man. What a run for the Knicks. What a run, man. I just saw the back page of the New York Post. You're going to have to get this framed. Champs, Knicks fans rejoice as team wins first title in 53 years. And then the back page for the Post, the front page was that. The back page is we're number Brun, B-R-U-N. Jalen's game for the ages gives Knicks first title in 53 years. When people reference all-time great performances in basketball, they'll usually say, like, Game 6, Jordan. Game 5, Brunson will be a thing in New York. That's how special that performance was tonight. And to me, what made it so impressive is that he did not have his usual running mate tonight. Cat barely contributed. 2 points. OG, 3 of 11 shooting, was not himself tonight. A rare off game. You got some production from Mikal in the first half. Bridges, I thought, played well. Hart gave you a lot of heart. He hit some shots. He hit some tough layups. He battled. But this was the Brunson show, man. Every step of the way. The Knicks scored 94 points. Brunson had 45 of them. He outscored the San Antonio Spurs in the fourth quarter all by himself. He had 15 points in the fourth quarter. He outscored the Spurs over the final 8 minutes and 20 of the game. He's the first player to score 15 points in the fourth quarter of a finals-clinching win since Michael Jordan in '98 when he scored 16 points in the final frame of Game 6 against the Jazz, culminating in the last shot. That's what we're talking about with what Brunson did tonight. You got to be kidding me. It's surreal. And New York City is having a blast tonight into the wee hours of the morning. Doesn't feel like 4:30 a.m. 800-919-3776. If you're just waking up, the Knicks are world champions. If you haven't went to bed, the Knicks are world champions. They have done it. They have brought this city its first title since the 2012 Giants. And they have brought Knicks fans a championship for the first time in 53 years. And let's be real, a lot of Knicks fans out there were not alive to see that most recent title, that most recent championship. Just going through some of the stats from this series, it really is amazing what happened here. The Spurs in this series led by 12 or more in every game and were tied with the Knicks in the final 2 minutes of every game. And the Knicks won 4 of the 5 games. Again, I made the joke earlier. The bad news tonight was the Knicks were down 10 points at the end of the first quarter. The good news is the Knicks were down 10 points at the end of the first quarter. Even watching this game at the bar tonight here, people making the jokes, surely the Spurs will definitely hold on to this lead. It's amazing, man. And at times it did not look good for the Knicks' chances because Cat gave you nothing tonight. Let's call it for what it is. Karl Anthony Towns was in foul trouble. He only had 2 points. He was 1 of 7 shooting from the floor. He did give you 10 rebounds, so give Cat that, but he had 5 turnovers. Cat was awful tonight. OG, 3 of 11 shooting, only 1 of 5 from 3. Josh Hart, I thought, was one of the unsung heroes of the game. Obviously, they don't win without Brunson being Brunson. But Hart hit a couple of critical three-pointers in this one. He was a plus 15 on the floor tonight. He had the best plus-minus on the Knicks. 3 offensive rebounds, 8 total on the defensive side. So Hart gave you 13 points and 11 rebounds. I mean, he was Josh Hart. And he is a beloved Knick, and I'm so happy that obviously the OG play bailed out Josh Hart from having to be synonymous with what would have happened at the end of the game with the missed layup and Larry David almost having an aneurysm sitting courtside. It is thrilling knowing that gets forgotten in history, and instead we can now remember the OG play for what it is, an all-time moment in New York sports history that will be the lasting memory of this championship, I believe. But I think Brunson doing what he did tonight is going to make that a fascinating conversation down the line. And these are great conversations to have. Hey, what was your favorite moment of the finals run? The OG tip-in or Jalen Brunson going into God mode to deliver this team a title? The Knicks for years were chasing the superstar. LeBron was coming here. Durant was coming here. By the way, I'm not trying to pick on the Nets, but if you would have told any basketball fan the Knicks were going to win a title faster than the Nets after they signed KD and they signed Kyrie Irving and then added James Harden, people would look at you like you were on drugs, you're nuts, you should be in an institution. But think about what the Knick history had been. Always chasing the superstar saying no, not coming to the Knicks. And the superstar, that's right, superstar, that leads them to glory is a 6'1", undersized guard who was a second-round pick who people said the Knicks overpaid when they signed him. Or Becky Hammond said, well, you can't win with him as your 1A. He's not a 1A, he's too small. And she was not alone. She's kind of become the face of that criticism of Brunson. But there were plenty who felt that way. The clips are out there. You can see it for yourself. You type it in on YouTube. And here they are, champions. And the guy who leaves them there is that guy, Jalen Brunson, who will never have to pay for another meal in the rest of his life. And when he's up for his next contract, he will get that supermax that the Knicks can offer. And the sacrifices that he made, he is a immortal sports figure in New York now. Forever. And when we talk about the all-time great New York athletes, Brunson is on the list. He delivered this team a championship. He's the guy that did it. With the Rangers and Messier, number 11, right? Messier was already an all-time great when he got to the Rangers. The Brunson story is so surreal because this wasn't like Durant coming here or LeBron coming here and doing this. This guy came out of nowhere and is as likable of an athlete you can have in sports. You dream, if you're a franchise, of having a player as likable and as humble and as egoless as Jalen Brunson. It is surreal that he is a Knick. It is surreal that tonight we got to watch the New York Knicks win a championship with the 6'1" guy outplaying the 7'5" guy on the biggest stage in the most watched NBA Finals in 30 years since Michael Jordan's last Finals against Utah. It is surreal. 800-919-3776. Michael in Manhattan started off this segment, Michael.
Jake Asman, in all the years that we went to Camp Canadensis together, I never could have dreamed of a night/morning like this one. And that I would be talking to you as were you being the radio host after the Knicks just won this incredible championship. And then you got to go to those games at Madison Square Garden, which makes me so happy, by the way. It's incredible you got to see all that. Wow. It's really hard to even know what to say, as so many other people have said tonight/this morning. So I went to Central Park to kind of try to, this evening or yesterday evening to try to kind of calm my nerves. I pretty much always listen to all the games on the radio anyway. So I started by listening to the games on the radio, and I could hear the Central Park watch party, the cheering. Not a lot of cheering in the first half. That definitely didn't help with the nerves. But as the second half progressed, I kind of while still listening to the radio, moseyed my way on back into the action in Midtown, and just incredible. Just people everywhere. The bar, every bar packed. I eventually found a couple of bars where there were a whole bunch of people crowded around kind of watching the outdoor TV. So I did that while listening to the radio. And those last couple of minutes, I was really freaking out because you could really see that they could actually do this, and they had come back yet again. But it was, that margin was so tight, and they just couldn't quite put the Spurs away, but they held on. They held on, and that's all that matters. And then I went basically into Times Square right after I kind of just wound up. I was trying to get as close to MSG as possible, and it was just the wildest scenes, just the streets packed. There were a bunch of buses that were stuck. I don't know if they were World Cup buses or what the deal was, but there were people just standing on top of all these vehicles, just going crazy, people screaming, people shooting fireworks off. I mean, it's just the most incredible stuff you could, imagine. So just wanted to share all that and just say how much I appreciate, being able to listen to you, and just how happy it makes me that you've made it this far in your career. And like I said, that you get to do something, go to those MSG games, that Game 4, that's incredible. And one more thing, if hopefully we can meet up at a Yankee game sometime. I'll be there Tuesday, probably Saturday. I'll be there all season, so it'd be amazing to see you. But yeah, it's incredible to talk to you. What a night. Take it all in.
Michael, be safe,
care,
man.
Jake.
Great to hear from you. I've known Michael a long time, and back when I knew him, those Knicks teams were horrendous. So this is a long time coming. Be safe. You hear all the police sirens in the background there. People are still having a good time. It's only 4:30 a.m. We got plenty of time still to party, baby. 800-919-3776. More calls right now. Wesley in Brooklyn up next here with Jake Asman as we celebrate a Knicks title. Hello, Wesley.
Hey, what's up, Jake, man? First time call. I'm glad to hear you, man. Just to say, man, 53 years. I'm a Brooklyn native, born and raised. Even when the Nets came to town, real New Yorkers know it's only one New York City team, baby. One New York City team. And I'm heading to work right now as we speak. Typical New Yorker, up all night, up all day, and I'm still getting to work. But just to say, you hit everything on the nail with the whole Dante, the whole Julius Randle, all them moves just to get where we are today. And little do people know the such low-key hiring that put this all in motion is signing and hiring Rick Brunson. People don't know how important that was. That got his son enticed to come to us just because his dad's there. I'm going there. My dad's over there. I'm going there. And then everything started snowballing. It's destiny. And I always told everybody that nobody wants to see us in the playoffs. A 7-game series, to beat us 4 times in a row, it's a problem for anybody. Now the world sees it. And right now, watching the sun rise up, it's orange and blue skies, baby. Thanks for your time. I appreciate it.
Wesley, drive safe, man. Great call. I mean, think about it. They signed Brunson, and I heard Brunson on Inside the NBA talking about it with those guys. I mean, he even admitted he didn't know he could be this good. Rick Brunson admitted he had no idea his kid could be this good. That's what I think makes part of this so surreal. Like, the Knicks were always chasing the superstar. Or we were hoping to get that guy in the draft, right? We were going to win the lottery and get Zion. So many years, the Knicks never moved up in the lottery. They'd move down. It was always about chasing the superstar to find the guy, and we always said if that superstar comes here and delivers this city a championship, it's going to be unlike anything else. And the guy who does it is coming out of nowhere and just gave you 45 points on the road against an elite 62-win team that has an elite defense and has a unanimous Defensive Player of the Year who's 7'5" in the middle of the paint. And the 6-foot point guard who gets more out of his body than any player in the league with his footwork and tenacity and basketball awareness and just the highest of IQ on what he has to do to get his shot off and find angles. He's the guy that averages 32.5 points in the NBA Finals and gives you 45 tonight when it all mattered. When it was all on the line, that will to win. They were down 16 points in this game tonight. Or last night. It all feels like a giant blur right now. Unreal. World champions, baby. Say it out loud, Knicks fans. The Knicks are world champions. It will never get old. They can never take this away from you. Ever. Ever. These championships are sacred. They don't happen very often. And when you're a franchise that hadn't won in 53 years and you finally get it, it will last a lifetime. Vishnu in Connecticut up next with Jake Asman here on ESPN New York. Hello, Vishnu.
Yeah, hi, Jake. So I've been at Jake Asman Show Patreon member. You know me as Wish B on YouTube. So I've been a Knicks fan. I came to US. I'm from India, and I came to US in '92. I went to LSU. So I did my master's, and I moved to New Jersey for my job. And when I was in LSU, I watched Michael Jordan play, and it was amazing. I became an NBA fan. So when I moved to New Jersey, I started following Knicks when we had great Patrick Ewing, John Starks, and I remember the heartbreaker with the Indiana Pacers. I mean, they were almost winning, but then they lost that. They didn't make it to the Eastern Finals. And every year I've been like, they had a great team, but they didn't make it to the finals. And it's been a long wait. It's been 31 years since then. I've been like, I was so emotional today when they won. It was so amazing. I mean, they not only had to play the Spurs team, they had to beat the referees also. I mean, the referees were totally against Knicks for some reason.
Even tonight,
and
Vishnu.
They had to overcome.
Yeah, great call.
Yes.
You're 100% right. Think about it. The referees tonight let Victor Wembanyama get away with another blatant, dirty, flagrant foul that should have been called when you had as clear of a landing zone foul that, I mean, it was ridiculous. They missed that. And that would have been a flagrant, and then if there was a Game 6, Wemby would have been suspended. After they let Wemby throw Brunson to the floor in Game 3. After the officiating was completely one-sided in Game 2. I thought Game 2 was actually worse than the officiating in the first half of Game 4. And again, the Knicks overcame all this. They are a special team. Want to know why? Because winners win, and the Knicks are a bunch of winners. Winners win. They are world champions. Charlie in Queens up next with Jake Asman here on ESPN New York. Hello, Charlie.
Hey, Jake. 1973 is over. It's 2026 because the New York Knicks are NBA champions, and I cannot express enough how rejoiceful I am and how happy I am because the Knicks are so different. Like, like compared to any other teams in town. Like they're the team. I mean, I was down to the city. Unfortunately, I was on the line for the bar. I couldn't make it, but I had to watch it at my friend's apartment. But like all these people wearing Knicks gears, like everywhere, and even strange, we're talking. It is so amazing to be able to get this done. This team in this kind of magnitude. I don't think my fandom will be sane in terms of like the Knicks are the number one team, and as like it surprised every Yankee championship, like everything, everything. And it almost like that World Series one in 2024 from the Yankees. It looked so tame, and this team was amazing. Oh, amazing! Like give all the credits you need. You give to this, organization, starting with obviously Leon Rose took over and built this team. And Jalen Brunson is the franchise. And screw Becky Hammond. Like what a clueless homer, just no brain baseball. Basketball. Just clown. And Brunson, I'm so proud of Jalen Brunson. Like I'm so happy for him. Like he defied every odds. Like small guard cannot win. To go up against that 7'4" Victor Wembanyama, a dirty player, found out in this series, and like Brunson got better in this series, and there was like a one play he faked it towards the corner with his ball, and Wembanyama completely flinched towards the corner, and Brunson went to the layup. Him as well, but it just I cannot express the happiness that this team brought, and we all New Yorkers, Knicks fans, deserve this, and we waited so long, and that's why we stuck around. And man, I can't say how happy I'm. I love the Knicks. And they're NBA champions. And this will be, generational. We want to pass this along. I want to pass this along, and that's my goal. So, I want to pass this along to my next generation. And this is so happy. This is I'm like after the apartment, I went down to the city, went Harlem Square. It was just seeing was just
basket it, Charlie. Great call. Love the emotions. Basket all of it. That's what this championship is all about. There'll be a lot of kids named Jalen 9 months from now. A lot of people tonight creating some babies, or this morning. 9 months from now, there'll be a lot of kids named Jalen, OG, Josh, Shamit.
Daughter named Anna.
Daughter, yeah. Daughter named Anna. I don't know. I don't have any money left for my future son, Jalen Brunson Asman, to go to college. I spent it all on finals tickets. But unbelievable. Unreal. Open phone lines, Knicks fans. For those who want in, Ray Santiago will be naming his child OG Santiago. This is confirmed. 800-919-3776. We are with you till 6. DNR, that's right. Dave and Rick coming on the air at 6 a.m. as we bask in the glory of a Knicks championship. They have done it. Brunson, the unanimous MVP. Don't stop believing, Knicks fans. Your Knicks are world champions for the first time in 53 years. Jake Asman with you. DNR coming your way at 6 a.m. No, it's not a Monday. It's a special Sunday, DNR. The Knicks are world champions. Don't stop believing. One of the really cool moments of this run was I was lucky enough to be in the building the other night for Game 4, the OG Anunoby game, the OG tip, just the tip. And after the game, and Ray, you could speak to this because you were there too, of course, none of the ushers made the fans leave right away. It was a good 20, 25 minutes where all the fans stayed in the building and were singing along. And one of the songs they played, which made me think of it, was Don't Stop Believing. And that, New York State of Mind, New York, it was...
The crowd singing along to New York was a moment.
Surreal, man. It really is. This whole thing is surreal. And the fact that the Knicks won tonight or last night. I keep saying tonight, but I haven't gone to bed yet. This
Feels
is surreal.
like tonight. We can call it tonight.
Still feels like tonight to me and Ray and
it is to me. Yeah,
many of you out there. The fact that they won Game 5 right after they had the magical comeback in Game 4, I think it only enhances the legacy of that game. Because if this had gone out longer, right? If they had lost tonight, even though Brunson was great. They lost a close one. Who knows what happens in the Game 6? The OG play will never be forgotten, win or lose. But the fact that the Knicks won the championship in the direct game after that, I think only enhances the legacy of that play, how we remember it. And Brunson only then added on to his historic NBA legacy by dropping 45 points in a closeout game against a 62-win Spurs team that has a unanimous Defensive Player of the Year. Unreal, man. Unreal. Knicks fans.
Who's blocking everything, by the way, throughout the game.
He was amazing in the first half. But again, it's like the story of the Knicks. Brunson joked about it afterwards. The game starts at 8:30. The Knicks don't start playing until 9.
Look, there was zero doubt, and they'll never cop to it, will the Spurs, but when that fourth quarter came about and the game was way tighter, they were just waiting for whatever was going to happen to them again to happen. They knew it was inevitable. They were the Knicks were like Thanos. They were inevitable.
Yep. I think psychologically, the Knicks got to them. And this is why I think a lot of people got it wrong when we did the debate before the finals started. Would you rather play the Spurs or the Thunder? And some argued, well, the Thunder aren't fully healthy. Yeah, but the Thunder are champions. You have to go through the playoff heartbreak to eventually break through. The Thunder didn't just win right away. They had to go through it before they won. You have to go through it. The Spurs have to go through it.
I don't know how much you were paying attention to DNR in the lead up to the Western Conference Finals being completed, but I was bordering on arrogance according to these guys because I told them I didn't care who they played. I thought the Knicks could beat both of them.
And I'll tell you what, I do think the Knicks could have beaten both of them, but I think the reason why you wanted the Spurs is what we saw in this series because they're young. They don't know how to close. They're learning. This will be a learning experience for them. Dylan Harper's 20 years old. He's amazing.
He's going to be such a stud.
He is amazing. My big thing as a Knicks fan going in is Wembanyama's probably going to win multiple championships in his career, but not this one. And if you're going to get him early. LeBron didn't win until he was in his 8th or 9th year in the league. Same with Jordan. And very rarely do the great players come in and just win right away. Magic Johnson's the only one I can think of, and he had Kareem Abdul-Jabbar on his team. So there's a process to this, and I think the Knicks' best chance of winning a title was to get here and get it done when you get the opportunity, and they made the most of it. Knicks in 5. Surreal. The New York Knicks have won the NBA Finals for the first time in 53 years. We are winners in New York City. The Knicks are world champions. I have dreamed of the opportunity to do a show on this radio station after one of my teams wins a title. And the fact that it's the Knicks, a team that unites everyone in this area, everyone's a Knicks fan around here. For baseball, you got the Yankees and you have the Mets. Jets and Giants for football. 3 hockey teams. We all have the Knicks. And this team has given us memories that will last a lifetime. During the most recent commercial break, I went back and just looked at the Knicks record. The last 25 years. Looking at basically my fandom over the last 25 years. And some of the seasons you see, 21 wins, 18 wins, 17 wins. Heck, the year before Leon Rose got here, the Knicks were 21-45. Then he shows up, hires Tom Thibodeau. They go 41-31. Lose in the first round. They miss the playoffs the following year. Jalen Brunson shows up in 2022, and the rest is history. Win around, lose to the Heat. Win around the following year against the Sixers. Lose to Indiana in 7. And if the Knicks were healthy, if OG didn't hurt his hamstring, they get to the conference finals that year. Last year, go all the way to Game 6 of the conference finals, make the coaching change. In comes Mike Brown. 53 wins in the regular season. Some questions with this team. They're down 2 games to 1 to the Hawks. and then a run for the ages. A run that none of us could have anticipated. Even if you thought this Knicks team was going to get to the finals, you didn't have them rattling off all these wins in a row by double digits. The Knicks' point differential during this finals run is the best ever. This was a historic playoff run. 53 years between titles, the most by any team in NBA history. Overcoming double-digit deficits in all 4 of their finals wins. The Knicks' point differential was plus 283 in the postseason. The best ever. Second place on the list is the Warriors of 2017. That team had prime KD, Curry, Thompson, Draymond, Iguodala. That's the next closest. This was historic. We will never see a run like this. I hope to God the Knicks win many more championships in our lifetime, but I can promise you it will never look the way it looked in this regard. Enjoy it, Knicks fans. We waited forever for this moment. Some of you who were lucky enough to be around for the Clyde and Willis teams, you waited 53 years in between. Surreal. Absolutely surreal. Talking about a team that was as bad as the Knicks were for as long as they were for most of my life. Winning a championship and the way they did it. With their superstar, who some felt was an overpay. Couldn't win with him. Not a 1A. He's slicing and dicing Victor Wembanyama in the fourth quarter, going through the paint, using his footwork, using his craft to help carry this team, outscoring the Spurs all by himself over the final 8 minutes of the game. That is a superstar. That is Jordan-esque. Brunson and Jordan, the only players that ever scored 45 or more in a closeout game on the road. This is the type of stuff we're talking about. It is surreal. It is hard to believe. Build the statue for Jalen Brunson. We've known this for a while, but no Knick will ever wear number 11 after Jalen Brunson retires. 800-919-3776. HTJ in the car. Started off, HTJ.
Jake, Harvey, Ray, good morning. I still can't believe this. I still can't believe the Knicks are NBA champions. It is surreal. The greatest part about it for me was I watched it with my son. He's 10 years old. I was 10 years old when I got into the NBA and into the Knicks, and I was a diehard Knicks fan. I'm 45 years old. I watched the 90s run, and then we all, like everyone else, suffered for years. And now they're NBA champions. They lost one road playoff game. You hope in a series to win one, and they only lost one for an entire playoff run. That's unimaginable. If you told me that, I'd say it's not even believable. You're lying. I can't believe when they won. I'm lucky. I set it up to record. And my son jumped in my arms. He ran around the living room screaming. I put him down. I ran out. I live in a complex. I ran out, and the yellest screamed that the Knicks are champions, and the most visceral, let's effing go I could. And then I ran back in. And I just carried my son around the house screaming. And Jalen Brunson, man, 45 points in a closeout game. And you know what I love about him, and you saw this in the Philadelphia series a few years ago, he figures out defenses. No matter what you throw at him in a series, he will figure it out, and he did. You saw it. He stopped with the pump fakes. He just got his shot up quickly. The one on Wemby where he drove, and then he slowed down to pump Wemby behind him to then get the space to lay it in. Unbelievable, man. I'm on my way to work now. As little sleep as I could. I worked a 12-hour day today, and just it's unbelievable.
HCJ, great call, man. Great call. Your energy is what this is all about. Love that. I love that you got to celebrate it with your 10-year-old son as well. Think about what this team is going to do for future generations of Knicks fans. So many people became Knicks fans because of those teams in the 70s with Clyde and passed it forward to their families, passed it down. We know the amount of babies that are about to be named Jalen and OG. We know that's coming. But there's so many people who are now young kids who fell in love with this Knicks team. They are fans for life. For life, you have these people. For life. And that's what made the Knicks fans so special in the first place. You have had these diehards who have had nothing. I had nothing. The best season I had in my life as a Knicks fan was Carmelo's 54 wins in 2012, 2013. That's it. I'm not old enough to even have 99. I'm telling you, if you're under 35, you've had nothing. And that's part of the reason why you see the streets being so crazy with energy and passion. It's the one team that unites everyone. It's the young people who have seen nothing. They finally have something. It is truly surreal to be doing this show right now. This has been a dream of mine to be on the air talking about the Knicks winning a title. And here we are. Mike in Manhattan, keep it rolling, Mike. You're up next with Jake Asman here on ESPN New York.
Appreciate you guys having me on, you and Ray. I just want to say we know the Villanova Knicks are winners, but I think we're a little too quick to crown these Spurs as future champs. I saw a lot of immaturity. I saw a lot of dirty play. I saw Adam Silver and the refs doing everything they could to make sure the Spurs won. I don't get it. I'll hang up quickly and just say that I am going to do my best to get an OG or a Jalen son, maybe a daughter, Olivia Georgia or something. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Thank you for having me on. God bless.
Mike, great call. Look, I'll say this. The Spurs, I think they're ahead of schedule. It's part of the reason why, as a Knicks fan, I wanted to play them. Youth matters. I think we saw the lack of experience. Wembanyama's in the playoffs for the first time. It's amazing that they got here. They won 62 games in the regular season. Dylan Harper's 20 years old. I gained so much respect for him as a player in these 5 games. I lost so much respect for Wembanyama as a player because he's a dirty player. Now, this is the most watched NBA Finals in 30 years. Everyone got to see that Victor Wembanyama is a dirty player. I can't remember a superstar that was a dirtier player than him. Again, we're focused on the positives, the jubilation of the Knicks winning. Could you imagine the conversation we're having if they had lost last night and they didn't call that ridiculous, clear flagrant on Wemby for not giving Brunson landing space on the 3 he hit? So the Spurs do got to mature. They do got to do some growing up. But they're so young and talented, they'll have their day. But not this one. Wembanyama will probably win a championship or 2 in his career. He's that good. But not this one. This is the Knicks title. 800-919-3776. DNR at 6. Rick and Dave doing a Sunday show as we bask in the glory of the Knicks. More of your calls right now. Doug in Florida up next on our show. Hello, Doug.
Hello, Jake. How you doing, man?
Doug, I mean, I am doing as well as you could possibly be doing.
Me as well. I mean, this is I'm an older guy, and I enjoyed the 70 and 73 championships, but nothing compares to this one. This is truly, truly amazing, and I was able to at least call my son John and share that with him when they finally got the title that he had been waiting for all his lifetime. And my other son Derek, oh my goodness, this was so phenomenal. And the Spurs may have won the first quarters, but the Knicks won every fourth quarter, and that's where it counted. That's where
champions are made. I'm just thrilled that your son John gave me the opportunity to be able to do this show, Doug. This is a dream come true to be talking about this.
Well, I had spoken to him about you, Jake, because I had heard your podcasts about it, because I'm a big Jets fan too, and it's been so disappointing for so long for that as well. And so, yeah, I had mentioned your name several times to him when you were down in Houston. So.
I heard that, and I appreciate that, Doug. I'm glad that we finally got to talk on these terms because, look, I don't know if it's coming for the Jets anytime soon, but at least the Knicks have shown us it can happen if they could do it. So could hopefully the Jets, and the Mets, and all these teams.
You know what's amazing? You know what's amazing, Jake, is in football, the Steeler fans travel, the Dallas fans travel. I am amazed how the Knicks fans travel around this country. I am. I mean, they take over other arenas. It's amazing.
It's so true. And there were so many there last night. And honestly, I think a big part of it is it's actually cheaper to go to these away arenas than it is to go to the Garden with these ticket prices.
Yeah. Even with the flights and the hotels. Yes, you're right.
Unbelievable. John, Doug, you're the man. Shout out to John Winthrop for making all this happen. Appreciate you calling in.
Be well, Jake. Take care.
Doug in Florida checking us out this morning. Great call from him. I mean, it's amazing. I said this earlier, but for those who just put us on, I'm doing this show right now from the most unique locations to be doing a radio show. If you're watching on YouTube, I am in an empty business center conference room at a hotel in Boston where I'm a groomsman in a wedding today for one of my best friends from college. So I'm in Boston. The rehearsal dinner was yesterday. We got done with the dinner at 8. We watched the game, me and a bunch of my friends who are all Knicks fans who also made this trip. We watched it from the hotel bar. So, and of all the places to be celebrating a title, I'm surrounded with Boston fans. I cannot wait to rub it in their face. Oh, God. But it's just surreal to be doing this show. It really is. This team has given us so much, and the party is just getting started. World champions, 94-90. Jalen Brunson, 45 points, the unanimous MVP. The drought is over. The Knicks have won their first title since 1973. There are still people out and about. I'm getting tweets. I'm getting tagged and stuff on Instagram of people out celebrating, listening to the show. So shout out to everyone who's had a great night into the morning here. Special shout out to our guy Ray Santiago, who's battling through. He's feeling a little under the weather, but he made it to the end of the Knicks season. We got Anthony Pusick and Harvey Cruz now producing the rest of the way. World champs, man. 800-919-3776. I got to share what I just read. Ian Begley, who I think is as good covering the Knicks as any reporter out there, has a story on SNY's website where ahead of the Knicks playoff run starting, James Dolan took a few minutes to address his team. He talked to the players about the opportunity ahead of them, the importance of sacrificing for the next 10 weeks. Now, in Ian's original tweet, he wrote that Dolan asked the Knicks to make sacrifices, including not having any fornication. So I'm like, what? Ian get hacked? This got to be a typo. Then I click on the actual article, and it says, Dolan jokingly asked the players to avoid fornication during the postseason. Well, I can tell you what. The Knicks don't have to worry about that anymore. They're going to be getting down and after it. My God, what a run. James Dolan, man. Guaranteed this team was going to win, and they won. And I actually thought Dolan had a really good speech at the podium when he apologized to the Knicks fans for taking this long, and now they're champions. Surreal. Absolutely surreal. 800-919-3776. Open phone lines for all the Knicks fans who want in on the conversation. Dave and Rick are coming your way at 6 a.m. We are live as a station all throughout the morning. Dan Grassa got us started at 12:20 this morning. I came on at 2, and we're taking you until Dave and Rick at 6. Let's say hello to Roberto in New York, who is up next on our show this morning. Hello, Roberto.
Oh, wow, I forgot I was on. How you doing? Good morning, Jake. Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Welcome aboard, Roberto. Let's go, baby. The Knicks are champs. Bring the passion.
That's what I was going to say. Can I please just say the Knicks are the best. They're the best in the world, and it feels so great to say that. I've been a diehard Knicks fan since Oak, Ewing, and then Latrell and Camby and Houston in '99 also. Great plays all around throughout the whole team. OG with the roll. I'm not taking nothing away from OG in his finger roll and Brunson in his 45. But the best play in the series, knock me if I'm wrong, was when Coach Brown put Brunson and Avocado in the backcourt. for Game
Avocado.
4.
I mean, you mean
Yeah,
Alvarado?
avocado. Avocado, baby. That's avocado, baby. Boricua.
Yeah, Roberto, great call, man. I'll tell you what, Mike Brown, I think gets a tremendous amount of praise for his coaching job, and I think that is one of the shining examples of a decision he made that if it didn't work out, he'd be criticized for. He goes to Alvarado. That lineup really worked to perfection in Game 4, and I think what stood out to me is he stayed with Alvarado. A lot of times coaches, they make a change, maybe they get a spark, then they go back to the players that got him there. He stayed with that lineup of Alvarado and Brunson in the backcourt. They tried it again last night, and it wasn't as effective. And really, the Knicks just got no production from their bench tonight. Or last night. It's still tonight to me. I mean, Alvarado only played 11 minutes. He was 0 for 5, so that you didn't have that spark. Shamet only gave you 5 points. Clarkson, 2. You got nothing the entire series from Deuce McBride. 0 points. I mean, the Knicks collectively got 9 points from their bench last night. This was the Jalen Brunson show. 45 of 94 points for Brunson. Superstar. Superstar. 1A. Brunson officially, if it wasn't obvious, made himself an immortal in this town. An immortal. The same way we revere Walt Clyde Frazier and Willis Reed and Patrick Ewing, Jalen Brunson is there. He was already on the Mount Rushmore of Knicks. You could make a case he's number 1 after a performance like that. We got plenty of time to debate it and discuss it. But that's not what this is about. It's about celebrating a team that has given us memories and emotions and feelings of joy that we will have for the rest of our lives. 800-919-3776. Phil in Queens up next with Jake Asman here on ESPN New York. Hello, Phil.
Listen, my father got into this country in 1986, and he told me when I was old enough to understand basketball that Patrick Ewing was going to be the best basketball player I ever saw, next to Michael Jordan, right, as a Knicks fan. I've been waiting that long to see a championship. 37 years as a lifelong New Yorker. I don't think people understand what this really means to us. As somebody who suffered through the Clee Anthony Earlys, the Damian Dotsons, digging into the second round to find our savior, we finally did it, man. We finally got what we've been dying for in the city. Because we have the Mecca, right? And then we're the city of point guards, right? We have a basketball acumen that can rival anybody else, but we don't have the NBA championship, and now we got it. And you do, but people don't understand. Outside of New York, don't understand what this really means to us, and this is just big, man. This is just big, and I'm glad you guys took my call. Thank you. I just hope people understand what just happened last night. Sorry, I've been awake since 6 a.m. yesterday. I've been in Queens. I've been in Brooklyn. I've been in Uptown Manhattan. I've been in downtown. I took a city bike from 42nd and 2nd to Times Square at 12 in the morning. It's been a long night for us, me and my people. So it's like we went out as New Yorkers. So I hope people understand what it really means to us.
Phil, great call, man. Well said. It is a surreal feeling. It means so much to so many people of all different ages. All different backgrounds, races, creeds. That's why we love sports. The New York Knicks are world champions. A sentence I was not sure I'd ever get to say. Not when I was watching Andre Bargnani and Kevin Knox and trying to talk myself into Frank Ntilikina looking good because he had a nice couple of games wearing a headband. It is surreal. Knicks fans, say it out loud. The New York Knicks are world champions. World champion New York Knicks. Jalen Brunson, the unanimous NBA Finals MVP. Just the second player in league history to score 45 or more on the road in a title-clinching victory. It was the fourth most points ever in a finals-clinching victory. Unreal. Unreal. 16-3 in the playoffs. They won 15 of their final 16, including 3 in this series alone on the road in San Antonio. Surreal. Parade on Thursday. Parade on Thursday. Unbelievable. Everyone's better than Jalen Brunson until it's time to be better than Jalen Brunson. Add Victor Wembanyama to the list. Because by the end of the series, Brunson figured him out too. Going right at him in the lane. And when Brunson started to get going, and one of those baskets late, I think it was like 83-77, whatever the score was, it was just a surreal moment. It was 83-77, about 6 minutes and 37 to go. With 7 seconds left on the shot clock, Brunson made his move, went right into the paint, used his footwork, got through Wemby. One of the toughest buckets you're going to see. He went in the God mode last night. World champions. Surreal. Open phone lines, Knicks fans. Let's hear from you. 800-919-3776. I've been talking about it live on this station since 2 a.m., and I'm still trying to find the right words to describe all the emotions, what this feels like, what this means. Let's try and do it together. PBM, you're up next. Purple Belt Mike, what do you got for us?
I'm a Mets fan, a Jets fan, a Knicks fan, and an Islanders fan. This is the first time I've been to Sports Euphoria, and it feels great. I know why people are infatuated with it, because there's no feeling when your team is the number one team in the league. Wow. Honestly, now I understand when people say that feeling that you get, because I'm finally experiencing it. And to give a shout out to the entire team, we need to retire all their jerseys. That entire starting 5, 11, 25, 32, number 3, they all deserve to be in the rafters, especially for what they've done for this city. I love all of them equally. I will be telling my kids about this moment. I will never forget it. I'm in D.C. right now, and I was electric last night. I was so electric they threw me out the bar. But I don't care. I actually kept saying nobody's better than Jalen Brunson, because you know what? Nobody is. Becky Hammond's got to eat those words. Everyone's got to eat their words, what they said about Jalen. Jalen is a superstar. I don't care how tall he is. He is Mr. Clutch. We have the most clutch player in the NBA. And thank God Cat was raised by Wolves so we can win in New York, baby. Go New York. Go New York. Go. Let's go, baby. I will see you at the parade on Thursday. Let's go.
PBM, well done. Well done. Sports Euphoria. Again, if you're someone under the age of 40 and you root for the Knicks, the Jets, the Islanders, the Mets, you have nothing. You have no titles. You haven't even really come close to seeing your team win a championship. You've seen the Mets in the World Series a few times, but they were never up 3-1. I watched tonight's game, or last night's game. For me, it's still tonight, whatever. You get the point. I watched Game 5. My best friend in the world, Met fan, Islander fan, Jet fan, Knick fan. He's like, I've been a loser my whole life. Tonight, I'm a winner. Tonight, I see a championship. A lot of people out there feel the same way. 800-919-3776. Deep in Brooklyn is up next. Hello, Deep.
Hey, Jake. Good early morning. We haven't slept. We have not slept. Everyone stayed awake. And, watching this game 5, let's talk about the game real quick. It had to be Brunson's game. Everyone was off. They had 13 points, and he had 8 of them. And I was like, it's got to be a Brunson burner type of game. He's going to have to take it home for the Knicks. And that's exactly what he did. And, you know, this whole core, such a lovable, likable team. And it's like impossible to hate these guys. They play hard. They play like 40-plus minutes when Thibodeau was coaching, you know. And it's difficult to put into words. I can't imagine how it is for the players. But there's going to be stories, songs, documentaries, movies, references, anything you can name about this Knicks core and this team. The 26 Knicks has a nice ring to it, doesn't it? It's so perfect,
Knicks.
really.
Knicks in 26. I mean,
yeah.
it's a championship.
I had the Knicks in 5 games, Jake. I had the Knicks in 5 games. I didn't think it'd be this much of a struggle, really. Each of these games was so nerve-wracking. I was fortunate enough to go to Game 3, even though they lost that one. But I was still happy to see them play, and these guys never quit, man. Game 4, we should have known better. We should have known better, Jake, that they were going to do something miraculous. Like,
well, I'll tell you what.
It's amazing watching this. I'm happy for all the true diehard Knicks fans. Like, I'm going to be honest. I wasn't a huge Knicks fan growing up, right? But, you know, people around me, they were Cavs fans, Warrior fans, Laker fans, Celtic fans. They're from this area. And I don't want to hear them. I don't want to hear them jump on those guys. If you're a casual fan and you become a Knicks fan, welcome. You know what I mean? Like, this is for everybody. Everybody in New York, the tri-state area, 5 boroughs and beyond. You know, thank you to the fans. Thank you to the Knicks. Thank you, Jake. It's been a pleasure. And hopefully there's more stories to come. And Jalen Brunson, goated forever. Forever and beyond.
I appreciate the call. I mean, for all the diehards out there, it was all worth it. Every second of the pain, every ounce of the heartbreak, every year of the disappointment, it led to this moment. It led to this title. And I've had a theory for a while that when you're one of these cursed franchises that hasn't won in forever or has never won, you have to overcome the extraordinary to break through. And the Knicks did that with the comeback in Game 4. The championship was on ice after the tip from OG Anunoby went through the basket. That was the moment. The Cleveland comeback of the last round, we've been building to this. You know, when the Cubs won their first championship in forever, they were down 3-1 in the World Series. I don't need to remind Yankee fans about the Red Sox in 2004. Enough said. The Warriors were up 3-1 on the Cavs with LeBron. For the Cavs to win their first title, for Cleveland to get its first title in forever, they had to come back down 3-1. That's sports in a nutshell. And the Knicks finally had that moment they could overcome and break through. World champions, the New York Knicks, 53 years in between titles, have finally given their fans another one. Last chance to get in on our show this evening, this morning, however you want to describe it. Many of you out there, you haven't slept yet. The day just continues. The celebration. Jalen Brunson, an all-time epic performance that we will never forget. 45 points, all by himself, shouldering the scoring load for the Knicks. Unanimous Finals MVP. He was the MVP of the conference finals. He has made himself an immortal athlete in this town. Everywhere you go, you will see the number 11 jerseys everywhere on kids. I mean, he has given the Knicks fans so many all-time performances. It is surreal. And the hug with his dad after the game, him tearing up with Lisa doing the interview afterwards. Lisa Salters, of course, on the ABC broadcast. Hard not to love Jalen Brunson, man. He is everything you want in a superstar. And what's amazing about Brunson is He wins 2 titles in college. He's the National Player of the Year. There were 4 of his teammates that were drafted ahead of him. He won a state championship in high school. This guy is a winner, man. He is a winner in every sense of the word. This was Brunson post-game on winning an NBA title.
We're just going to describe it, but I'll say I put a lot of time and effort into trying to be the best player I can be to try and help a team win. Just really thankful I have the organization, the coaching staff, my teammates to have my back every single day. I think that means the most to me.
Mike Brown talking about Brunson, saying Jalen Brunson is him.
I've said it. I hope you guys will listen to me, but he's a top 3 MVP candidate. Everybody kind of mentions his name in passing. They don't do it seriously enough. People say he's too small. People say he's a 1B or a 2B or whatever. He is a freaking 1A. He is an MVP candidate. And I hope tonight you guys, I'm talking to media more than the fans, but I hope you guys recognize what this man is about because he is A1 MVP.
Facts.
He is him.
He's him.
He is him.
He is him.
He is him.
He is. He is.
Can you say he is him? No?
No.
Okay. This is my grandson, Iverson.
Unbelievable. Shout out to Mike Brown's grandson, Iverson. And Ariel Huck-Porty there. Mike Brown is right. Mike Brown is spot on. Again, Jalen Brunson took a massive pay cut for this team. And it actually worked. His sacrifice led to this. This is a team that will go down forever. Forever. It is surreal to be doing a show basking in the glory of a Knicks title. Brunson was actually asked about the fact that he took less money to help build this team.
Very possible. Through a lot of hard work and effort, I knew it was achievable, but that was only a small portion of it. I think everyone buying in, coming together, having the mindset of just believing in each other, never giving up, no matter what the situation was, made this all possible. But yes, they may look like it had something to do with it, but it's a credit to my teammates.
Credit to his teammates. Credit to Leon Rose for building this team. Credit to Mike Brown for coaching this team. That's part of the appeal of this Knicks team, how likable they are. And just every night you go through the playoffs, and it was a different hero. Alvarado off the bench. Shaman off the bench. Mitchell Robinson. How big was that rebound tonight by Mitch? Go down the line. They all had moments. Deuce had a huge game in the closeout win over the Sixers. Hart had the incredible game 2 against Cleveland. Like, I can think of each game and point out a different Knick that helped contribute to the win during these playoffs. And obviously Jalen Brunson is the star. He's the engine that makes this thing work. But you can't win a title without a team, and the Knicks are a team. Not a good team. They are a great team. The owner, he believed in the team. This was James Dolan last night on why he believed this was a team that could win a championship.
I saw a team. We were a team. We've been a team the whole time. But I want to say something to New York. Hey, New York, I'm sorry it took so long, but here we are, and hopefully it won't take that long again.
Congratulations.
James Dolan, NBA champion. We said, not we, but many said, Knicks would never win with that guy owning the team. It can't happen. If the Knicks can win a championship, your crummy team you root for can too. You got to get the right people in charge. Again, this all started when Dolan hired Leon Rose. The only way you actually could hear from the architect of the team is apparently when they win a championship and he has to talk to Ernie Johnson. We had people saying, I didn't even know what Leon Rose sounded like. Well, it started when they hired him. And then he hired Tom Thibodeau. And I can't help but think, what is Tibbs thinking as he watched this? He's obviously happy for some of his players, of course. But is he bitter at all with this experience? Just like that, with that win last night, Mike Brown is now Joe Torre and Tom Thibodeau is Buck Showalter. But make no mistake about it, the Knicks don't win a championship without Tom Thibodeau helping to resurrect this franchise. This team was a joke when Leon and Thibodeau first got here. They were an absolute dumpster fire. They were a 21-45 team that missed the playoffs. Year one, Tibbs comes in, they won 41 games. Lost in 5 to the Hawks, but they were relevant. It was fun to watch the Knicks. It was fun to watch them in the playoffs and see the Garden loud again. That's where this all started. Some of the shrewd moves along the way. The player development we saw. Right? Randall was not an all-NBA player until Tom Thibodeau started coaching him. Josh Hart was never this good till Tibbs. Deuce McBride. Go down the line. Isaiah Hartenstein. Look at all the players that got better under this front office and the coaching staffs. How the Knicks built this team. They signed Dante DiVincenzo. He has a career year with the Knicks. They're able to take Dante and Julius Randle, turn that player into Karl Anthony Towns. They're able to take Cam Reddish and a protected first-round pick and turn that player into Josh Hart. They're able to take Emmanuel Quickley and R.J. Barrett. Barrett played his best under Thibodeau. They draft IK. They flip those guys into OG Anunoby. This Knicks team did not have a single starter on it that they drafted. Think about that. Think about how difficult that is to pull off in the modern NBA. Their longest tenured Knick was Mitchell Robinson. Him and Deuce are the only players that contribute to this team that were actually drafted by the organization. Think about how surreal that is. It's hard to explain the level of difficulty to put this team together that Leon Rose had to go through. All the things he had to get right along the way. Having the assets to then take the big swing on Mikal Bridges. And a lot of these moves, they weren't the popular move at the time. It wasn't the popular opinion that it was the right move to trade for Cat. It wasn't the consensus, no doubt about it, you got to go get Mikal Bridges. This team had to methodically build. It wasn't just, Kevin Durant or LeBron finally came to the Knicks and, well, here we go. It's all good. We got our savior. The savior is a 6'1", second-round pick out of Villanova, who many said was too small to win a title with, was not a 1A, and initially his first $100 million contract was a massive overpay by the Knicks. That's the guy that dropped 45 points in a closeout game, outplaying the 7'5" alien, who's the dirtiest player in the NBA, by the way. Outplaying that guy on the biggest stage. Making Victor Wembanyama look completely outclassed and exposing how unlikable and how dirty of a player he is in the process. It is surreal, Knicks fans. Bask in the glory of all of it. We have waited forever to see this team win a title. It is an unbelievable fan base. It is an unbelievable team that will go down as one of the most dominant teams we have ever seen and one of the most likable teams we have ever seen. It is a team of selfless players that all collectively came together for the greater goal. And they have delivered this team a championship. The City a championship. For the first time in 53 years. First time in 14 we've seen one in New York. Of the four major sports. Surreal. Absolutely surreal. What an honor it has been to be on the air the last 4 hours. I have dreamed of being able to do a show talking about one of my teams winning a title. And to have this experience with the amazing listeners here at ESPN New York is one of the highlights of my broadcasting career. I will never forget today, tonight, this morning, whatever we're calling it. What a run by the Knicks. They are world champions. Thank you to Ray Santiago, Jacob Perry, Joe Leo, Harvey Cruz, Anthony Pusick for making this overnight broadcast possible. The Knicks are world champions, baby. Dave and Rick, DNR, they're coming up next to break it all down live. This is Jake Asman saying thank you for listening. And one final time, the New York Knicks are NBA champions. Let's go.